He's got a 2.96 ERA with the Dodgers. And as you point out, they are a magical, pristine 9-0 when he makes his start. Yes, I did think that the Dodgers would get the most out of him, that he would improve, that he wouldn't be the Blue Jays version of him. I didn't see this coming. And the cool thing about all of this is now this turns it into a question the Dodgers have to answer. Do you keep Eric Lauer? Do you trade Eric Lauer? Do you give him to a team like the White Sox and maybe get a top 30, 40 prospect for him? It's a good problem to have because now there's some pitching depth there. But Eric Lauer has been everything the Dodgers could have ever asked for and then some. And yeah, I will say, I mean, I wish.
Say it.
I think it was during.
10 toes down.
I think it was during a practice show.
I'm going to get 7 toes up on this.
I don't
No,
know
it's real.
if we have the audio for the practice show, I'm going to actually spend time looking for it because
I thought you were going to throw to it.
I wish, because I think it was the 17th that
I
they
said
got
he sucks.
You called him a bum.
Maybe.
You called Eric Lauer a bum.
Let me say 2 things.
B-U-M, all caps, bold.
Can I say a few things about that? Also, a few of you have hit me up on the socials asking where the stream is. It's not up yet, but it'll be coming. So FM 97.1, you can get on the radio, free Odyssey app, and we'll get that up for you here in a little bit. Technology is technology. When I'm around it doesn't always work. Okay, few things. First of all, yes, I almost certainly called him a bum. That sounds like something I would say. Secondly, you're gonna let me get into this. He was a bum. What's the movie where they take Trading Places with Eddie Murphy and whoever else? He was a bum, and the Dodgers, to your credit, and I didn't see this coming, turned him into a superstar. He has literally been an absolute superstar for the Dodgers. So I own it. You know what? We'll throw to the fake clip because we can't find it. And he's a bum. I'm Bill Reiter. And it is whatever date Eric Lauer is about to become a Dodger. See, that's like fake clip because I just said it for you. I'll own it, dude. But it's amazing. And is this guy going to be pitching the postseason? I don't know. Is this guy going to be traded between now and Monday as part of a Skubal trade? I don't know. This guy in 9 starts has been everything that you said was possible, and it is an eye-opening reminder that the Dodgers are better at baseball than everyone else because there's a bunch of other teams that could have taken Eric Lauer and made him an example of why Doug is really good at talking to Dodgers.
See, Bill Reiter called him a bum. You know what the Dodgers saw him as, though? A before picture, right? A before picture. And the after picture is a sub-3 ERA. It's 9-0 with the Dodgers since he's been on the mound. And I think that for me, the bigger takeaway here, and you just mentioned it, that they're going to be in a position where they have to decide whether or not they trade him to get some lottery ticket level prospects, no one major, no one significant, or you keep him. And for me, I look at where the Dodgers are at, and yes, we'll talk Tarek Skubal till we're Dodger blue in the face, and I'm sure we'll get into it.
Dodger blue in the face. Wait, is that new?
I mean, I just said
You just brought it up, but have you said it before?
I've never said it before.
Over or under 20 times you said it before? Over?
Under.
It's really good.
Okay, there we go then.
No, I'm not
Boom.
criticizing.
Can I get the ding, maybe?
No, I don't like the ding.
Come on, please,
That's another
Bert.
show. The other shows do that.
One ding, and then we'll retire
One
it.
ding. We'll retire the ding.
Yeah.
I hate it.
I kind of hate it too. Okay, I like that one though. But here's the thing: we will talk all about
The
those
center
big
cannot
names
hold.
that they could possibly get.
Yeah.
But the thing about Eric Lauer, last night, Bill, he gave up just one hit. He gave up a single hit. It was a single to Young in the 3rd inning, and just reaching out to people within the Dodgers asked, hey, what's the big difference between Eric Lauer? And he's been saying confidence and this and that, but it's actually been a lot more than that. It's the changeup usage and the fact that he's attacking the zone. When he was in Toronto, he had no confidence in that fastball because he would live outside the zone. That means he would fall behind in counts, which would mean that he would have to get over fastballs, and then opposing hitters would hit tanks. Now he's just attacking the zone early in counts, is leading to soft contact, and that's been the biggest difference, and the way he's changing eye levels and utilizing that changeup. So the Dodgers did make tangible differences, and also, to the velocity. He's not a flamethrower, right? We're not talking about prime Randy Johnson or anything like that, but the velocity is up in certain spots. So I think right now, a lot of people want to see him get traded for a prospect. I say you can never have too much starting pitching. I hope the Dodgers do not trade Eric Lauer, even though it's probably a foregone conclusion. A team like the White Sox could go pick him up. They don't want to give up top prospects for a major starter. So give Lauer those flowers, but I want to let him stay in LA. I want him to give LA more innings, not just a prospect. He's already earned that World Series ring that I think ultimately he's going to get, but I want to I want to see him stay with this team. I do not want the Dodgers to trade him.
DMAC and Reiter here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. I am told that the stream is up, so if you were looking for it, if you were hitting me up, if you're wondering where it was, it is there. We got you. YouTube at The Fan LA, at The Fan LA. Remember, you can always listen on the free Odyssey app, and you can always listen on the FM. We're the only sports talk radio station in Southern California on the FM dial. I could listen to my partner, Doug McCain, talk about the Dodgers until he's Dodgers blue in the face. I want to try it out. I didn't come out because you just it was so smooth. All right, so that's the good. Great job, Eric Lauer. Outstanding work. Speaking of you don't want him traded, but it could happen. Talking to Eric Lauer, he has a view on that. We'll get to that later in the show. We'll get that in like 10 or 15 minutes as part of the Skubal update for you. So that's the good. This is the rad. It was really cool to see Edwin Diaz back in the game. Look, I'll let you sort of tell us what we should see. I will say I am not going to rush to any judgments of any kind on a first time back after a bunch of time away. And you and I are aligned. We don't think the cockfighting story that USA Today came out with when we sort of started this show is a very big deal. But it doesn't mean there wasn't some noise around him outside of just being away from being able to play with injury. So we'll see how long it takes him to get back to hopefully the Edwin Diaz that the Dodgers need and expect. He got the save. Pitched that ninth inning, gave up a couple hits, gave up a run. I think he threw 13 pitches. They hit him pretty hard, but it's also outing number one. It was cool to see him on the mound.
Yeah, just to get him back out there to hear those trumpets again. It was electric at Dodgers Stadium. Not like I was there, but it was electric at Dodgers Stadium.
You're always there.
Going to go tonight.
Are you?
I am.
Okay.
I got a friend there.
You do?
So, yeah.
I heard about that.
Hit it up. What the heck?
What?
But, hey, the good thing, the biggest takeaway, as you point out, he did give up some hard contact, but he did get the job done. He goes out there, gave up a one-out ground rule double. A couple batters later, Naylor doubled off him to score a run, but he got the job done. And the most important thing, too, is the velocity was down when we saw Edwin Diaz earlier off in the season. Now the velocity is back to where it's been. And in fact, it's up. I mean, last night, that four-seam fastball averaged 96.9 miles per hour. It was up a tick. So that was good to see. And this is really the makings of what this Dodgers bullpen has the potential to be. Is Edwin Diaz being a guy where Dave Roberts doesn't have to think, oh, should I go to Tanner Scott? Should I go to Evan Phillips? Should I go to Blake Trinan when he's healthy? Do I need to use a starting pitcher, a Yamamoto or Roki Sasaki or something like that? Edwin Diaz, his number one goal should be to make Dave Roberts' life easier to where he does not have to worry about you getting creative with those final three outs. You've got a professional out there in Edwin Diaz. And I think this Dodgers bullpen is rounding into form. It'll be interesting to see if they add an arm. But with Edwin Diaz looking like he did last night, it makes you feel very confident that this is a bullpen that's postseason ready.
All right, got the good. Tried to make bad work because it was brag, but with the rad right now it's the ugly. It's a Western, kids. All right. Put this off till 2:17. Didn't want to start with the ugly stuff. Great that the Dodgers won. We've celebrated Eric Lauer. We're excited that Diaz is back. Okay, dude, this Kyle Tucker thing. I mean, we're not in August, but we're almost in August, and we didn't hit this a lot yesterday. There was a lot going on, but a couple nights ago he had the base running error that was very, very untimely. And another reminder that he's just not right. 0 for 4 yesterday. I think he was one of two Dodgers who didn't have a hit in the game. I want to ask you this question. There's a perception in sports. I think it's real. There's a view out there that some people can't handle New York City, right? Can't handle the bright lights of the big city. And that's because of that is a very critical media market, massive expectations, blah, 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 blah. Okay. I think and I think that's real. I think that's become, this is my theory, I think that's become the Dodgers. I think the bright lights and the big city and the pressure and the expectations of this team and what is possible and the scrutiny and the attention, maybe not the same level of criticism from the media, but the level of expectation certainly from fans. Right? Dodgers fans expect the world, even if some media members don't grasp that or always go that direction. And most media markets aren't as hard or as difficult, I wish they were, as New York City. I'm starting to wonder, I'm starting to think that the Kyle Tucker issue is that it takes a special kind of person to be a Dodger in an era where the Dodgers are potentially one of the great teams, not baseball teams of all time. And he's not up for it.
So specifically starting with Kyle Tucker, I think you're 100% right. That at least right now, you have to say, we're deep enough into the season. We have a big enough sample size to say that he's not handled that pressure well. You know, I bring my facts to the fight. We've talked about it on this show a couple different times. His OPS at home is .598.
That's
He's hit
crazy,
just
dude.
2 home runs at Dodger Stadium
That's
this year.
crazy.
I give you $60 million, and you only hit me 2 home runs at home. So
He's hitting in the 7. He's in the 7 spot, for crying out loud.
that alone, it tells you everything you need to know, right? That he should be batting at the very least 5th in the order. He started the season batting 2nd, but a .598 OPS at home with 2 home runs. On the road, Kyle Tucker's an all-star.
Yep.
An .801 OPS, 51 games, 7 home runs. On the road, he is the player the Dodgers thought they signed. And I think that you bring up a really good talking point when it comes to Kyle Tucker, and that's not, can he still do it? Because it's not like he's 35, 36, 37. Dude is 29, 30 years old. He should be in the absolute prime of his career, but there's a difference between being a great player and being a player that's built for Los Angeles, right? Every city has pressure, but in Houston...
Not like this, dude.
Exactly.
I mean,
in
it's
Houston,
a
if you
different-
struggle, it's a stat. Here, if you struggle, it's a headline, right? And your postseason is your legacy. If you struggle here, you're trending online. It's a different animal. It's a different beast. Guess what? If you're in Houston, Chicago, you won't have people wondering if you're at your locker or not, right? Because there's not going to be that many reporters at your locker compared to Los Angeles.
I want to play a rapid-fire game with you
Yeah.
using your Dodgers expertise. And I don't want to go too fast because I don't want you to get Dodgers blue in the face again. You know what I'm saying? I love it. So it's so good, dude. It's so good, dude.
Hey,
Were your friends,
you're so good.
Were your friends nice to me in the chat, or were they after me yesterday?
They were like, Bill.
Because it goes, it goes different directions sometimes. We'll do a 1 to 10. 1 being cannot handle it, absolute coward, absolute weakling, absolute loser. 10 being all-time great. And I want your ranking of these Dodgers, and you think their ability to handle the bright lights and the pressure and the expectation of being a Dodger, and of those moments, right, for the Dodgers, as part of this, that show up in a way that doesn't for other teams, where you have opportunities at bats, moments on the mound that can lead to a World Series or not. All right, so just first, Kyle Tucker.
3,
Kyle Tucker a year from now.
5,
Okay. Shohei Ohtani.
9,
Freddie Freeman.
10,
I love that, dude. Max Muncy.
9.5,
Today's Mookie Betts.
6.5,
Mookie Betts in his total as a Dodger.
7,
Teoscar Hernandez.
7.5,
Dalton Rushing.
1.
Really?
I mean, he has to prove it first.
Okay.
Gotta
I
see
was
it.
gonna. Okay, it's your thing. I've been impressed by how he responded from the Shohei thing. Andy Paez,
3.5,
Yamamoto,
10,
Blake Snell,
9.5,
Glasnow,
7,
Roki Sasaki.
6.5,
Okay. Edwin Diaz,
7,
the bullpen.
6.5.
Dave Roberts.
Give David 10. He's a 3-time world champion.
I forgot. Did I hit you with Andy Paez yet?
Yeah.
All right. I think that's anybody I'm forgetting.
I would say Miguel Rojas.
Oh yeah.
Will Smith.
Miggy, you're. Oh, I forgot about Will Smith.
So Will Smith, I give
Will Smith.
the Clutch Prince. I give him a 10.
The Clutch Prince. That's good too. Oh, sorry. Why am I?
Yeah, Smitty is the Clutch Prince.
Today. It's a little awkward.
Miguel Rojas, I would say. I mean, he had that one big swing. I think you kind of take it for guys in their roles, right? And I think that Miguel Rojas.
Yep.
I said it last year. I think that I told Miguel Rojas this right after he hit it, really close to after the game, was, hey, that was the most impactful home run that any Dodgers ever hit in any game in the history of his franchise when he tied it late in Game 7. So they've got a lot of clutch guys. I think Kike Hernandez, another guy you would throw in there as a guy who's a 9+ player. I mean, they have so many guys where if you look at the totality of the numbers in the postseason, you might say, okay, it's tough to hit in the postseason. But it's that one moment, those 2 moments, those 3 moments that they come through, they're the difference between winning a World Series and looking at a rebuild, things like that. But I will say this about Kyle Tucker, though. I would not be shocked the way baseball is. Look, Tommy Edman, a couple years ago, Tommy Edman, he was kind of up and down after they got him, had some power, but he didn't look great after they got him. And Tommy Edman won NLCS MVP. Like, there is a world where Kyle Tucker
Oh, man.
responds to this,
You're right.
wins an MVP,
Resurrects his confidence.
and that's the thing too. And you brought up,
But I'm not betting on it, dude. I mean, it can happen. You're right. Because
I'm betting on it.
Are
I am.
you?
I really am. I think
there's
that,
a playoff series where he just goes full. He hits 450. He drives in a billion runs. He has timely clutch hitting. Good. Can I just say, I want you to go. I don't want people to fail. I want people to succeed. I want human beings in general to succeed in everything they do. Right? I'm not rooting against people. Sports are a zero-sum game, though. Not everybody can do that. Somebody has to fail for someone else to succeed. And I don't know, man. I worry that the sands are running through the hourglass of Kyle Tucker's Los Angeles Dodgers confidence timeline.
I think that he's going to be in a situation where at some point the focus is going to be on the top of that lineup, right? With Shohei and Freddie and Will Smith and Muncy, that he might sneak up on opposing pitcher because there's so much stress to get out those other guys, and then you get that one big hit, you get that one big moment, and you feel like you belong. And I think that says a lot about where the Dodgers are at right now. You mentioned Marvel, right? Kyle Tucker having a down season is like the Marvel studio having one flop when they own the entire Marvel universe.
Bringing it full
right?
circle like a pro, like a boss.
And we've seen some, Kraven the Hunter was a little bit of a bomb, right? I mean, Marvel's had bombs before, but they still have
Did you see? I never saw that.
I saw
That's
it,
Sony, isn't it?
Yeah. What?
Well, that's a crossover.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, I mean, well,
you saw that?
Yeah, the
that
Madame,
pass
the
your-
Madame one
Wait,
was
wait,
a kind
wait.
of, what's the Madame one?
No. I know. You just.
What's the one?
Yeah, it's
Madam Web.
That was a flop too, right?
Wait,
Yeah,
what
it was
about your
terrible.
Rotten Tomatoes 80% or I don't go?
I don't pay to see it, but I will see it after the fact. And
Oh, I'm sorry.
Gene likes bad movies. We watched
Is
72 hours
so
on
Gene's
Netflix. It was
obviously
terrible.
not listening right now.
Yeah, she catch the tail end.
My wife's got bad taste. I love her though. That's what you just said.
So, point is, though, the Dodgers are at a spot where,
Yeah.
yes, one movie can bomb, but they still own the studio. I mean, they're like a billionaire that has one bad stock in their portfolio. You're still a billionaire. The fact that the Dodgers can live through this, it sets Kyle Tucker up to be, okay, I have had a bad season for sure, but it's not as bad as it would be if I was in another market where I was that big offseason signing and they need me to come through. I think Kyle Tucker's in a spot where if he fixes some things mechanically and he gets some confidence, gets that big swing, I think I'll call it right now. I think Kyle Tucker is going to be an impactful player for the Dodgers in the postseason. NLCS MVP level.
have you seen the Marvel movie The Clock?
I'm not familiar. Must have.
I've missed it too. Here's what. Okay. So that's you're right on Lauer. You crushed it on Lauer. We understand that Tarek Skubal is expected to be traded. There's some information on that. It's all signs pointing to the Dodgers. We are going to update you on where things stand with Detroit's ace for now. Next here on DMAC and Reiter. All right, what up? Welcome back into the show. You're a crazy person, Doug. DMAC and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. Accident or injury, text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222. I have a question for you, my friend. You will learn this about me, or maybe you have. Certainly people that are close to me and have worked with me know this. I'm a big believer in the balance in the universe, so if I'm really nice, then I have to be really mean later.
Yeah.
Do you want? I have something to tell you, but it's me being really nice to you. Do you want it, knowing what's coming later, or no?
Yeah, if it's
nice right now.
Nice right now, I'm always here for a compliment.
But I'm going to have to balance it back later.
Balance it, okay.
It's just the personality.
Yeah. No, trust me, it's the universe, how it works.
It's also like dude stuff, right?
Yeah.
Love you, man. You're an idiot, though. You know, like one of those things.
I actually would prefer all of that, to be honest.
It's coming.
Yeah. Okay, sure.
That's what you're getting later.
I can handle it.
Okay. To be determined on the... All right, here we go. I was talking to our boss, Andrew, and I was thanking him yesterday or the day before. I really was, like, for just pairing us up together. I love radio, and I've had radio hosts in the past who didn't love working with, or maybe didn't love working with me, and I was like saying very nice things about you, and I pointed out that like you're crazy in all the great ways, and he's like, you're both crazy, man, and it hit me. We're both insane people.
Hey, man,
that's my story.
Hey, crazy people attract. You know, it's funny. I had a bunch of people, like I was telling you, that hit me up after your spot on the morning show, and they were like, yeah, man, does Bill ever get you pissed? And I was like, dude, the third show, he probably didn't notice this, but like my hand started shaking.
Oh, come on.
He got me so upset.
That's not true.
Yeah, it really is. Because I was ready to get down as far as like the Ohtani pitching stuff, those first couple of ones. And I was like, yeah, you got to use that as fuel, baby.
Yeah,
you got to fight fire with fire for sure. But yeah, someone asked me just now, to be honest, I was like, how long have you guys known each other? I was like, 3-4 months.
3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I know you all my life.
Not long enough.
Yeah.
What? You're an idiot. DMAC and Reiter on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. All right, so we've got a few updates here, and there's some interesting stuff out there. When you have a Tarek Skubal who is almost certainly going to be traded, and that's the reporting that is out there, we'll give you all of those things. It means that, right, he doesn't come for free, and that means other people have to leave. And if Tarek Skubal is likely to be a Dodger, and that is what Vegas says, that is what you're going to hear from Jeff Passan, that's what the sort of experts say, it also means that there are Dodgers in the farm system, and probably the major league level, if that were to go down, who are going to go the other direction. And I love it when you get to sort of hear the human side of these things. Here is Eric Lauer, so you'll hear the question and the answer from him, talking about being on the other side of that kind of a trade rumor.
How has it been to deal with hearing your name floating around ahead of the deadline?
Oh, my wife hates it. No, it's something that I was aware of, coming over here, that it might be like a rental thing. There's some big guys that have injuries that, there was just a need. So see a need, fill a need kind of thing. But, I love it here. I think I'm thriving here as far as I can tell. And, I would love to be part of this team.
The dude is almost pitching too well if his goal is to stay a Dodger, because he has become, for all the reasons that we've talked about, so incredibly valuable. And it is worth noting that this conversation is not happening in a vacuum. We've talked a lot about the trade deadline being on Monday. Doug has said for months now, before this became the national story, it was the Doug McCain story, and the right one, Skubal. That's first for you, Doug. It was keep an eye on it. Then it was it needs to happen, and you thought it would happen, and it's looking that direction. You said it first. Jeff Passan, who's the insider in baseball, said it very loudly in the sense of when he speaks, it matters yesterday.
Tarek Skubal is going to be traded. The Tigers haven't gone to teams that are interested in him and said as much at this point, but the expectation is that's going to happen within the next day or two. And of course, Phil, the Los Angeles Dodgers, who are the favorites at this point and frankly have been since the possibility of Tarek Skubal getting traded first surfaced a couple of months ago.
Dude, by the way, that's compliments of ESPN. That's Jeff Passan. Bob Nightingale also has said that Skubal prefers L.A. as maybe a long-term option and possibility. So let's do a DMAC heat check here. What are you feeling? What are you vibing? What's your senses? What are your sources as it relates to what you think is going to happen between now and the Monday deadline?
You could feel the smoke. You could see that the rumors are starting to percolate. And usually this time, Bill, there's rumors about Tarek Skubal type players in the Dodgers, but usually it's not the Jeff Passans of the world that are being this definitive and speaking this glowingly about the possibility of this happening. Let's be honest. If what he said is being said by someone else, it doesn't carry as much weight. We are talking about the preeminent insider in all of Major League Baseball saying that, one, Tarek Skubal is for sure getting traded, and two, that the Dodgers are the favorites to get him. And I think that this really speaks to Andrew Friedman and the Dodgers for the last couple of weeks, last couple of months. They don't want it known that, oh, we want Tarek Skubal bad. We want to be very aggressive. They've tried to downplay this as much as they could. Yesterday, I was told that Andrew Friedman, when he had his little press conference, he did that because he had all the beat writers asking kind of one by one, oh, can I get some time? And Friedman's like, you know what? I'll just answer all your questions at the same time, right? And Friedman wasn't going to go up there and just say,
12 reporters, one stone.
There we go. 12 reporters, one stone. And we kind of get this all out there. And here's the thing. I think the Dodgers and Andrew Friedman, they have a chance to make a trade and a move that we'll be talking about for the next 20, 30, 40 years. Because if you don't go out there and trade for Tarek Skubal, you're not only not getting him for yourself, but you're handing your biggest competition the weapon that's capable of knocking you out in October. If he goes to Milwaukee and you're playing them in a series,
the next most likely, according to the Vegas odds, to land him,
you're talking Tarek Skubal, Jacob Mizorowski, and those are dominant aces. And here's the thing. I mean, you're not just adding an ace, you're keeping an ace away from someone else. So for all the value you are getting with Tarek Skubal, if you possibly trade for him, and I eventually think they will trade for him, I've come too far just to come this far, you're getting double the value, Bill. You're not just getting what he can do for you, you are preventing one of your biggest competitions, whether it be the Brewers, whether it be the Phillies, whether it be the Braves, maybe even the Rays are a team out there from getting him. And here's the thing. Prospects are lottery tickets. Tarek Skubal is the winning numbers already printed, okay?
Wow.
You don't have to worry about that. You don't hang top 100 prospect banners, right? You hang World Series banners, World Series flags. And I'll say this. If the Dodgers don't trade for Tarek Skubal, they're going to live to regret it for the rest of this franchise's existence.
I love that. DMAC and Reiter here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. Spread the word, let people know. Listen to the car program at 97.1 is the station on the FM. If you're away from your radio, we're also streaming on YouTube at The Fan LA, at The Fan LA. Many of you are there now. Please hit that like button. Let me conspiracy theory something for you. Do you like conspiracy? I love conspiracy theories.
I'm obsessed with conspiracy theories.
The Denver airport thing?
Yeah.
With the horse and underneath.
It killed the guy who made it.
But also, like, there's a whole, like...
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. This is not that. It's
the weird art.
The art. It's not a lizard people art demon horse thing.
Yeah.
Okay? So, Bob Nightingale, who's an excellent, very respected reporter, saying in the last 24 hours that Tarek Skubal would prefer the Dodgers in free agency. Is it possible that is Skubal or Skubal's agent basically lowering the price for the Dodgers? Because if you are Milwaukee, if you are someone else, it makes it all... I mean, you already know it's a rental, but now he's basically signaling the only way that he can. He can't. It's not appropriate. And he went out a hero if it was his last game, Skubal, with Detroit, because, I mean, he got a rousing sort of goodbye, but then the bullpen gave him a different kind of goodbye. But you can't have your agent or you sort of trial balloon, I want to be traded to the Dodgers. But you can have your agent trial balloon in free agency. That's a preference. Is it possible that news is out there, because it's not free agency right now, it's trade deadline time, to try and put a little more pressure on other teams and maybe make it clear the Dodgers where he wants to go and lower the price?
I think that's very possible. I think
so.
that you see that gamesmanship all the time. The thing is, he is repped by Scott Boras, and I remember talking to Scott Boras at the winter meetings this past year, and I asked him about Tarek Skubal, a lot of questions about him, and he kind of laughed and said, look, I am never going to eliminate a market for my client, right? I'm going to try to make it seem like all teams, especially major markets, are players, right? Exactly. You want to create a bidding war.
Does he want to represent radio hosts?
Right? So I think that but I do think that this information coming out, as you just pointed out, the fact that, hey, guess what? Breaking news, a superstar baseball player would prefer to sign with the Dodgers, especially one that has a great history of starting pitching. And the thing about Tarek Skubal, I mentioned it on the show multiple times, is the fact that he lives in Arizona, his family lives in Arizona, and the Diamondbacks, they went out there and made their big play for Corbin Burns a couple years ago. So if he would go to the Dodgers, I mean, that's a pretty close trip. if they are looking to sign someone before that CBA gets finalized or whatever may happen with that, that's another thing to consider. But the Dodgers farm system, I mean, they're loaded. They can get any deal done. And I think there's a lot of people out there that are in this big fear that if you trade away these prospects for Tarek Skubal, that you're not going to be able to replenish that farm system. But they've shown again and again that they have the ability to do that. In fact, here's something kind of wild, Bill. Of the Dodgers' top prospects,
Talk to me.
only one of their top prospects is one that they actually drafted. Charles Davlon. DePaula, international free agent signing. Mike Sirota, they got in the trade for Gavin Lux. Eduardo Quintero, international free agent signing. Emil Morales, international free agent. Zaire Hope, they got in the Michael Busch trade. Christian Zazueta was in the Caleb Ferguson trade. James Tibbs in the Dustin May trade. So the Dodgers are like, hey, we don't care who we have to give up. You can have the iPhone 17 because guess what? iPhone 18's in development, right? Like we are going to develop prospects. We don't have to worry about our inventory. We're not a one-product company. So I think that you look at this Dodgers farm system and they're stockpiled with lots of different talented arms. And here's the thing, too. I guarantee you that they're going to make a trade, even if it's just prospect for prospect, because so many of these talented outfielders, they're blocked at the minor league level, so they can't develop.
Katie Wu had suggested a few weeks ago that maybe the Dodgers, instead of chasing Skubal, would sort of stack the deck in terms of rebalance away from some outfielders. You can also do both. That is a thing that could certainly happen. I thought Katie Wu was outstanding on the show yesterday. The new 97.1, The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. He's Doug McCain. I am Bill Reiter. We are going to keep talking Dodgers. Slam that like button if you're on the old YouTube at The Fan LA. Program if you're in the car, 97.1, 97.1, so you don't miss us or D-Fish and Decker or Brock and Alex or James Coe after us. And hang with us because we've got Hero of the Day nominees next on this show, DMAC and Reiter. All right, what up? Welcome back into the show. DMAC and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, visit calldowntown.com. That is calldowntown.com. Very cool, by the way, seeing some of those comments. People finding the show, DMAC and Reiter, via YouTube. And if you're one of those folks, remember, you can also get us on the FM, the only sports talk radio station on the FM, 97.1. And the reverse is true, too. If you tend to listen on the radio, there's a growing community over on YouTube at the Fan LA where some folks have found us, and you can go hang out there, too. So it's all interchangeable. Can I ask you a sort of random question based on something you said last segment?
Yeah.
And by can I? I'm not like I'm going to.
No, don't ask me. Please don't do it.
I know. Why am I even doing that? What a stupid thing to say by me. Okay, so you said that you've met Scott Boras.
Yes,
right?
multiple times.
Haven't met him. I've met Friedman, and Friedman's got, dude. He's got a charisma, right? He's got the Riz as a kid. He's got a little charisma. Who has more charisma, Friedman or Boras?
Easily Friedman. Easily
Oh, so
Friedman.
Boras is
Friedman's
not-
got a really
Scott Boras not
magnetic
not charismatic.
smile. I mean, Scott Boras is very nice. He's extremely nice.
Okay, I just assumed as an agent he was like, yeah, hey,
He's definitely, the way he handles himself is
okay.
definitely like, hey, I'm a big shot. He's got people around him that are taking care of him, and he's always wearing these super skinny jeans. Like he's super skinny jeans.
Super skinny
Scott
jeans.
Boras. Yeah, he wears really skinny,
those
like
aren't, I don't
tight
get it.
pants, jeggings.
Even when I could do
But
that,
yeah.
they're not comfortable.
But Scott Boras, he's got the gift of gab, though. So I will say that he's got the gift of gab. He's got these good lines that he uses for his different free agents. It's good times.
I know. Okay, I'm gonna say the mean thing.
What? That was
You're-
pandering?
No, you were describing him, but you were thinking of yourself.
Oh, come on.
No, I think you have a great personality. You have great lines.
So it's, hey.
No, you're a talker. It's not a put down. You're a talker, dude.
Hey.
Dude, like, we had to do something. We had to like film something for YouTube or whatever. And I'm like, let me just get some water real quick. And we walked over there, and I came back, and Sammy, hi, Sam. Let's put Sammy and Berkshire are here on the. I don't know if they're ready for the 4-box. And Sammy's like, where's Doug? And I go, we lost Doug. Because you're just in there like, let's be friends. You're a talker, bro.
You sound like you're describing yourself, dude.
No, I'm shy.
I'm just trying to be like you, my man.
But you got the lines, bro. You dropped like 9 new lines. Dude, I'm not mad at you. I'm not making fun of you. Are you like Eminem? You know, Eminem would go home and just like work on his lines. Kanye would do the same thing. Just work on his beats. I'm not mad. Are you? Do you go home?
I don't know.
Like, Dodgers, Dodgers, a lot to say. Dodgers blue face. Like, I just want to know that. I want to get in the workshop with you.
I am a big Eminem fan.
Dude.
That's my response.
Me too. Okay, so we're going to do the DMAC and Reiter Hero of the Day. Here's how it works. If you've never hung out with us for this part of the show, we are going to come up with sports heroes as we see them in Southern California and beyond. We will narrow that down to 4 nominees, and you can vote for the winner, which we'll announce at the end of the show. The vote takes place on YouTube at the Fan LA, at the Fan LA. I'm gonna be kind of cheap here, but I'm gonna go Eric Lauer. I mean, the guy was just awesome. We talked a lot about it at the start of the show. I won't belabor it. But he has been sensational. They have not lost the Dodgers when he has taken the mound. What an addition and what a resurrection to his confidence, as he noted, and his career so far this year as a Dodger.
Love it. I love it. I'm going to go with the Orioles and the Royals. The Orioles and the Royals, because they have beaten up on the Detroit Tigers. They took 2 of 3. Both of them did against the Tigers, so that increases the chances that the Tigers will ultimately trade Tarek Skubal. So, yes, I have set myself up for either the biggest triumph or the biggest disappointment. I might cry real tears if the Dodgers don't land him. So I'm trying to do anything I can to manifest it. So shout out to the O's, shout out to the Royals, beating up on the Tigers, and they're making it more likely that Skubal will be dealt before the deadline on Monday.
Great nominee. Love that nominee. As we do the Hero of the Day nominees on DMAC and Reiter on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports, where you can call anytime at 855-97-LA Fan, 855-97-LA Fan. You said you might cry real tears.
Yeah.
Do you cry fake tears sometimes?
You know, I
don't know.
Yeah, I've cried fake tears to
Really?
try to get my wife not as mad at me.
Doesn't work.
Like, please, please.
How long did that work?
It worked like once or twice.
Okay.
Maybe never.
When you said she has terrible taste in movies, did that trigger any I'm gonna have to fake
Husbands too,
tears?
yes.
I'm gonna
Terrible
fake-
taste husbands, yes, you're right.
I'm gonna fake tears. I'm gonna nominate UEFA, which is the European Soccer Federation, for leading the charge against FIFA's attempts to basically sell their nonprofit for lots of money. It's very complicated. We're actually going to get into this later in the show. But bad guys, in my opinion, at FIFA, trying to cash out and make themselves rich off of a sport that they don't actually own, they're supposed to manage and be curators of. And UEFA, which is the European bloc of this, and probably the most powerful, I mean, I think it is the most powerful, not probably, have said we will not attend the any of these events, including the World Cup, if this is what's what. So that takes some courage and some stones and some guts, and I got them on the old nominee list.
So you telling me he's going to be back today? Soccer boy! We're going to see
my
Soccer
God. I was
boy.
like, who's going to be back? I got a soccer boy. I got a soccer boy when I was on. I'm pretty sure when I was on with D Fish and Cody yesterday.
Let's go.
And then somebody told me in the chat. Yeah.
Hey, man. Hey, I cannot wait.
That's
That's a crazy story. Can't wait to get into that. You're probably going to say I'm cheating for this one. You're probably going to be upset. But I got to say Kike Hernandez.
What's up? Why is that cheating?
Okay, I have a little gun shy because you turned down every time
Shohei Ohtani. Because he's great.
Okay, so I'm going Kike Hernandez because he is back after suffering that grade 3 oblique strain. In his first game back, it felt like his season was going to be over. His season could have been over, but he's back, has not played yet, and he did share that he had a panic attack. He called his wife saying I had trouble speaking because he was so afraid that his season was over. He actually told reporters a couple days ago at Dodger Stadium that his body temporarily was unable to use the bathroom. He was constipated for 6 days. Kind of a crazy thing to bring up, but
making Bursch so nervous.
I could tell,
which is heroic of you.
To take a dump button, you might have to use. He could, but
it's a dump button. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, but honestly,
it's a dump button.
Kike Hernandez is one of the glue
What
guys.
It's called a dump button.
He's back for this
dumped the
stretch
sound
run.
effect. Yeah.
And just a wild story, wild road back, but I'm so glad he's back at the perfect time. And I do think ultimately he probably ends up as that fourth outfielder for the Dodgers if they do ultimately decide to move on from Alex Call.
What's the longest he ever went without a the old number of dose?
That's insane question.
7 days.
7?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I almost died in a car wreck.
Wow.
Whole body shut down.
That's crazy.
Wasn't great.
Man.
Yeah, it's a terrible story.
I
am not a hero of the day for sharing that here on the 297.1. The fan,
feel some type of way.
The Voice of LA Sports. Did I nominate Luka yesterday? I don't remember if I did, but I'm going to nominate Luka Doncic. We discussed yesterday that he is reportedly going to have guys out to Slovenia and the capital Slovenia, which I can pronounce just perfectly. Thank you very much. And I had missed this. This is my fault. Dan Wojcicki reported this. Great job, Dan Wojcicki. Not trying to take away anything from him. Dan reported that also Luka is going to pay for that. He is reportedly going to pay for all of the plane tickets. And I think I saw family members too. And so, again, we hit this yesterday. We did a big take. I think it's significant. I think that kind of bonding matters. That's leadership. He's also putting his own money down. Very, very, very cool.
That's awesome stuff. I'm going to go Trent McDuffie, cornerback for the Rams.
Okay.
So all this hype around Myles Garrett, Aaron Donald coming back, all these offseason moves. Let's not forget, Trent McDuffie was that first major move that addressed the Rams' biggest need at cornerback. By the way, he got a 94 rating on Madden.
That's so important to me.
I'm sure you're happy about that.
Let me write that down.
94. That makes him the third best cornerback in the game at a 94 rating. Bill doesn't respect Madden ratings, which I think that is terrible.
It's because I play a lot. It's not called FIFA anymore. They renamed it.
They did?
Yeah.
Did you use on the cover of FIFA?
No.
Mbappe.
Good. Probably break his leg. Not that I want that.
Wow. So
hamstring.
I'm going Trent McDuffie.
I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry that I said that. I apologize.
Wow.
But I do want to be out for the year of the hamstring injury. But I hope he's happy and on the beach. Just not doing anything for Real Madrid. That was an excellent one. I'm gonna go Edwin Diaz and like just in the sense of great to have him back and I like that they sort of threw him into the deep end, right? They didn't bring him back in the seventh inning. They're just like, all right, go close out this game. Go. I mean, what was it 4-1 when he went out there? But like, yeah, hell yeah, like let's. So I'll do Edwin Diaz, even though it's a little panderish. I know you it's a weak.
Wow,
time.
see that now you see
I'm pandering.
You're so bad you call it yourself.
I'm pandering.
For pandering.
I'm pandering. Yeah.
Jeez, okay, you know what? I'll stick with the Dodgers. Right, I'm going Andy Pajes. Man, we had Andy Pajes came alive yesterday.
Okay.
There was someone that wanted to have him taken out of the 2-hole next to me, and Andy Pajes really had a big night. He had his first home run since July 10th, fifth since June 1st. He was great last night. The top three in the lineup went 7 for 11. So Andy Pajes has been slumping for a while now, so to see that success, I love it. He turned the Pajes on that slump, and he had a big night.
We haven't talked about Pajes in a sort of in-depth way in a long time, have we?
We haven't, yeah. It's kind of probably tells you that he just hasn't been very bad, but hasn't been great either.
It also, I think, somewhat speaks to the expectation reality. Andy Pajes' expectations are very different than Kyle Tucker's, and so they can have the same 2 weeks, and it will hit very differently.
Exactly.
for all of us, and as well it should.
And the thing, too, is he hangs his hat on his defense well, right? I mean, he plays center field, third most important defensive position on the diamond. He's played that very well all season long. And look, it's a long season. You're going to have your ups and downs. He made that all-star team. But it's going to be interesting because he has not been a consistent hitter in the postseason. So that's going to be something that he'll have to hopefully be tested with, and he'll perform when it matters most.
All right, so we got Eric Lauer, we got the Orioles and the Royals. We're just making sure that Detroit didn't have any delusions of not even grandeur, of just mediocrity to try to push through. We have UEFA. We have Luka Doncic paying for the old team trip. Anybody else? You got 30 seconds, DMAC. Anybody else you want to try to get on there?
No, but I love how you could really just put the Orioles. It kind of combines itself. The Royals and the Orioles, not perfectly, but yeah, I'm proud of that one.
I don't know what you said.
No, because they got the Orioles and the Royals. But that you can kind of combine that. The Orioles and the Royals, the Ori Royals. I don't know. So the answer is no. I have no more nominees.
Silence your hearing is judgment. Oh my God, I hate those. We're gonna go. All right, we're gonna talk to Bursch about the sounds, and we're gonna get
I like
into
that sound.
We're gonna hear from Andrew Friedman next. DMAC and Reiter. All right, what's up? Happy Thursday. Thank you for hanging. DMAC and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, text injury help to 40222. That is injury help to 40222. You can also visit calldowntown.com. Phone number, call us if you want to hang out, 855-97-LA-FAN, 855-97-LA-FAN. Andrew Friedman spoke yesterday. So have some other important Dodgers. And so we've rounded up the sounds of the actual Dodgers players and some of the members of leadership to just sort of give you a sense of where things stand, what is going on with the Dodgers as we are, were we 4 days from the trade deadline? And we've hit this right here and there, but also just there are guys that hopefully, Tarek Skubal's what DMAC's been calling for a long time, and now that's become the reality, the hope, the possibility. The trade deadline, there's also additions for the Dodgers. One of them came yesterday, Edwin Diaz. Just in terms of guys getting healthy, right? Those additions are coming too, and you'll hear from some of those folks. You down to start with Andrew Friedman?
Let's hit it.
Little president of baseball ops. He wasn't skinny jeans.
In Friedman we trust.
He's not skinny jeans.
No.
He's like
normal fitting.
He's got a Tom Cruise vibe.
He does. Explosive charisma.
He does.
Great
man.
smile. Smartest guy in the room.
When you're not
calculated. That's true.
You like to do that?
For you.
Real nice today. I'm gonna give it. All right. Now, Andrew Friedman, as part of this press conference yesterday, where he knocked out 12 reporters with one stone, talked about and discussed the health status of Will Smith.
Few of the different doctors that we consulted, everyone agreed on the diagnosis part of it. There was just disagreement on the timeline of how long it would take for him to feel good. And when he turned a corner and started to feel way better, lined up perfectly with one of the doctors and what they said. It's obviously a difficult thing to know exactly, and different guys heal differently, but it lines up with it, and he has continued to stack good day on good day and progressing, and actually just saw him on my way here, and he's doing really well.
One of the by the way, I got a little swung a ball for in the chat at the Fan LA. You better pick up my call. We'll pick it up. 855-97-LA-FAN. We got you. One of the things that I think you are great at, and that I've learned a lot just talking Dodgers with you, is the way in which the expectation for excellence for the Dodgers, for not even excellence, to win a World Series all the time, is not lip service, and there has to be strategy in everything. And you talk a lot about why that matters in terms of Skubal, and why that matters in your view of how best to manage Shohei Ohtani, and why, I think you said it earlier in the show, you can't have enough starting pitching. Like, everything funnels through, no matter how big or small, has to be managed absolutely properly to maximize the likelihood the Dodgers can win a World Series. That's the standard. That's the reality. You are right. I love it when you say it. So in that context, where does the Will Smith injury rank for you on just a worry level?
It ranks high. If I was going to do it 1 out of 10, I would say 6.4, something like that.
That is high.
I know it's pretty specific, but
It was very specific, too.
Because here's the thing.
6.4215.
The Dodgers are not only in a race for Tarek Skubal, they're in a race to finish with the best record in the league, and you want to finish with home field advantage throughout. And what if something were to happen to Dalton Rushing? That means Eliezer Alfonso and Chucky Robinson, those are your catchers. And to me, that's not good enough. And I think that, yeah, you're not going to go out there and get a Ryan Jeffers, probably the catcher for the Twins, but you could get another catcher for the Twins, Victor Caratini. If you get Caratini, or you get a Travis d'Arnaud, the Angels, or you go get a Ben Rortvedt, a catcher like that, it really protects your downside. And they use that word a lot. Dave Roberts says, hey, we got to protect our downside. And yes, you're not going to get a catcher that's going to replace Dalton Rushing, but now you're getting a option for Dalton Rushing, a veteran catcher, one that knows how to handle pitching. Because after the deadline, if Will Smith has a setback or Dalton Rushing gets injured before then, there could be a long stretch where you do not have adequate catching. I just don't want to see that. So I would not be surprised to see the Dodgers go out there and get a catcher. Like I said, Victor Caratini, you go and get a Ben Rortvedt, a Travis d'Arnaud. There's names out there. And yes, a lot of teams need catchers, but not depth piece catchers.
Little breaking news. I'm told by our executive producer, Ryan Bershinger, that Ohtani is not in the starting lineup today. Do we have Bersh any info on what that is, other than the possibility they listened to the show and heard that we think that it would just be good if he had some time off. Tommy Edman, by the way, is the leadoff hitter instead. The lineup, which just dropped, is Edman, Pages, Freeman, Muncy, Betts, Tucker at 6, Teoscar at 7, Dalton rushing, and then your guy, Mr. Enrique Hernandez. Again, we'll get to the info as we hear it. When Dave talks to the media, we'll fill you in. Assuming there's no news following this, it's problematic. Good. Like, give the guys a rest day or two.
Oh, look at you.
What? Stop with the look at you.
You have changed.
Stop.
It's the things
oh
you
my
said have
gosh.
changed. Your
By the way,
tone
okay,
has
so
changed.
We're
not going to go there if you don't want.
No,
but
we are there.
Here's
And
the thing.
This is what you do. What you
do
constantly
realize
do,
this stuff's on
what
YouTube
you
and on podcast, right?
What you constantly do, and I love that about you, Doug. I love it, DMAC. Is that you will say two things. You just admitted this in the break like 20 minutes ago. You'll be like, yeah, this is like this guy, Kyle Tucker.
What I say on the break stays at the break.
I forgot that rule. Kyle Tucker's terrible. And then, but I think you can have a great October. And then that you middle, so you have both covered. I just say what I think. I put myself out there. I'll be wrong. So here's what I said about Ohtani. I didn't middle it. Here's what I said.
And I didn't middle anything about Ohtani or Kyle Tucker.
Oh, good. Then we're on the same page on that. Here's the deal on Ohtani. Keep poking. I wanted him to chase the Cy Young until his body told us that he couldn't. His body has done that. Now let's all surrender together. How is that? That hasn't changed.
I have a quote from you. I'm going to read it. Ready? He's fine. You sat there and you yelled
was
at
fine
me.
then.
No,
I didn't
this
yell. I
was
would never yell
you
at
were
you.
sitting there yelling.
I would
He's
never yell at you.
fine.
My
He's
best friend.
fine. He's fine. And this was during the biceps.
I
This
yelled
was
at you?
during absolutely.
I
well,
raised my voice?
You did. Well, not like you weren't screaming, but
Okay.
you
So I
definitely
did-
were. I mean, you're projecting in a professional radio manner.
I'm an intense
as
guy.
You do. An intense guy, but you're like, he's fine. He's okay. Nothing wrong with him. And I said, hey, if the check engine light's on, you can't throw that Ferrari out on the streets. You got to see what's going on. It's a high performance vehicle.
Maybe that's why I was yelling, because I heard that 11 times. Maybe that's...
What is? I mixed it up. Don't
was
say
me.
that. But
That was me.
okay, here's the thing.
Can I
though.
dump myself?
No, but here's the thing though about Shohei Ohtani.
Talk
is
to me, please.
They don't have an off day until next Thursday. You got the road trip in Chicago after the 3-game set with the Red Sox
You okay?
after
I'm not mad at you.
after this 3-game series. So
Yeah.
this could just be a day off, knowing that they're not off their typical Thursday, but they were off on Monday. But you did just mention Will Smith, and I think that the reason that Will Smith has been able to take those steps forward and become pain-free is because he just shut it down. If you just shut it down and you let the body heal, you are going to be in a better spot than just playing through something. So we'll hear what Dave Roberts has to say later, but any rest for Shohei Ohtani when you got a big lead, I feel good about it. I feel good about it. Great movie, by the way.
Do you know what I really, and I'm being serious, you know what I like about working with you and how you misrepresent me? But I'm being serious. This isn't you do misrepresent me. I'm not going to pretend you don't. That is how formidable you are. Like, that's the thing. That is why I actually enjoy it. You're good at it.
You know what you're good at is trying to play it off like I'm misrepresenting you.
Well, you did.
You-
You're smart. You're clever. And by the way, you're also picking up the radio tricks, and I'm here for it. You are a what's the stupid Tom Cruise movie where he goes in The Last Samurai?
Jerry Maguire.
Or becomes a no, the different one. Not the one in Manhattan Beach, the one in Japan, where he becomes a samurai, and there's
Yeah.
like some like. A warrior must find the warrior to whatever. Like, the guy might kill me, but at least he's like an honorable warrior. I like that you're a very formidable dude. I really do. And so when you misrepresent me, I am impressed that you do it with such aplomb and perspective and intelligence. You're still, in a very good way, totally full of it. Because every time I bring up Ohtani now, you're like, I'm like, oh, Ohtani's out today. I hope he's okay. And you're like, oh, you were wrong. That's what you do.
Yeah, it feels good to say that, by the way.
But I wasn't wrong.
Oh my gosh.
No?
You were calling the Dodgers soft, society as a whole soft, baseball
They were.
soft, because Shohei Ohtani has
You
a
think
little
Ohtani
injury here and
should
there and you
sit
won't let him play.
Yeah, you think Ohtani should sit down all the time. I think he should sit down when he's hurt, which he is.
See, that's where
See,
you've
not-
gotten tricky.
see-
Is now you've
Helicopter parent just because I'm not a helicopter parent doesn't mean that I won't helicopter in when necessary.
But the truth is, he's in the same condition now
No, he's not.
as he was when you were saying all these things. It's just we didn't realize it at the time.
Well, then you're the one pointing out that the Dodgers malpractice by letting him play in that meaningless series in the 3 games before the
I
All-Star
said it
game.
myself. Go quote me. I said what they did was reckless.
Okay. I listened to you and thought they were the best at this and thought there was no way they would do that. So you know what? Our fight, and I like it, is the Dodgers' fault. It's DMAC and Reiter on the new 97 on the fan, the voice of LA Sports. Is this a good one or is this a handshaking one? I can't. Where are we at?
We're money, baby.
All right, we're Gucci?
Yeah, we're Gucci.
That's not. I can't say that. That's not my expression.
It sounds good on you, man.
It doesn't. It does sound good on you. Edwin Diaz. It sounds good to hear Edwin Diaz talking about being back to baseball. Obviously, he closed out the game last night, pitched the ninth. It wasn't perfect, but it was great, as Doug and I discussed earlier, and Doug was awesome in that. He pitched that. You were. He pitched that ninth, and on Sports Spectrum Sportsnet, Diaz talked about that long-awaited return to the mound.
I feel great. I think I made good pitches. That was hunting my fastball today. I threw really good sliders, so I'm really happy where I am right now. Just keep developing. I keep getting better.
I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I mean,
What?
I mean, this is a great thing. And we talked about it. We were talking about it yesterday. How Freddie Freeman was asked about all these players coming back off injury, right? When it comes to Edwin Diaz and Tyler Glasnow and Blake Snell and Kike Hernandez, and Freddie Freeman said, "Hey, that's a great trade deadline for any team." So to get Edwin Diaz back now, and the velocity being up yesterday, the success that he had, how effective he was on the mound, it's like the Dodgers went out there and they traded for an all-star level closer. So I know he's been itching to be back. And I think, too, it'll all play out well because I think that he's going to have more left in the tank for that stretch run and that World Series run in October.
What is your level of confidence that because, look, we're not going to make an assessment on Diaz yesterday, and we're not going to make an assessment on Kyle Tucker on April 10th. But at a certain point, right, we've made the assessment on Tucker, and we've had that conversation. How much time, how much grace do you give Edwin Diaz before you think you and I are able to reasonably talk to Dodgers fans here on the new 97.1, The Fan, the voice of LA Sports, about whether or not he is the pitcher that the Dodgers paid for and that is expected?
So if you asked me this before what we saw what happened last year with Tanner Scott, I'd be much more confident. But I do think we need to at least see a solid 3 weeks of him going out there, the velocity being consistent, and not getting hit hard like he has been for most of this year. I do love the fact that even though it's a short sample size, he has been really, really good in his opportunities in the postseason at 2.38 ERA. And there's just something about the way this guy carries himself, like the trumpets, the vibe, just how well he fits in. He's just got so much confidence. So, yeah, I love it, man. I mean, I think he's just ready to embrace being a Dodgers closer. We talk about the limelight and those things. I think that this guy lives for the limelight. What we saw in New York, now we see here, I think he's ready to be that electric Dodgers closer.
I don't think we didn't do him on the 1 to 10, Edwin Diaz, limelight handling it.
I did a 6.5. Just because I haven't seen it. I want guys to prove it for me. We did. I think, yeah, you threw in Diaz in there.
Good for me.
You brought that sugar.
I did. I thought you were going to say something.
That's his nickname, Sugar. What?
I thought Bursch was going to fall out of his chair.
You brought that Sugar. It's his nickname.
You can see on the
Sugar
screen.
Diaz.
No, I'm with you. I got it. At the Fan LA. All right, Tyler Glasnow, who we haven't seen a lot of. Well, I guess I have. I've seen him in Manhattan Beach. But we haven't seen a lot of, obviously, in sort of the Dodger capacity. Spoke with reporters yesterday and broke down what he has been dealing with as we all await sort of where he's at with this back injury.
It was just like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. Like, you just throw your back out, it's just anything in deflection or like any weird movement, it feels like it's super tight. It's just like hard to move, and I just think it was hard to get over that hump. It was like no matter what I did, any quick movement I would feel it, or if I threw it would get like a little worse, and then it would get better, and then I would kind of come back, try a little too hard. But I think it got to the point where I took enough time off, got back to throwing where I was like 0 symptoms and felt fine.
I mean, I know this isn't like rocket science, but it is just amazing how easy it is to forget that Glasnow and Snell are out there, and the possibility of one or both of those guys being exactly what they can be is an incredible comfort for Dodgers fans and a very big problem for everybody else in the National League.
It's such a luxury to have Tyler Glasnow. You're absolutely right. I mean, what if I told you that we're talking about, Bill, a guy that if they did get Tarek Skubal would basically be the Dodgers' 5th best starter, yet he had a 1.69 ERA last year in the postseason. He's been an all-star for this team. The only issue with Tyler Glasnow is just the injuries. I mean, this is a guy where, yeah, man, luxury car, but can you keep him on the road? Now, if he gets back on the road and he starts pitching like he's capable of, this is a guy that truly does have top 10 stuff. He really is that good of a pitcher when he's on.
At their best, how many top 10 pitchers in baseball do the Dodgers have?
4. They really do. I mean, they legitimately have 4.
And Roki Sasaki can be that in a couple years.
And your guy Roki Sasaki can be that. And I venture to say Eric Lauer is number 1.
Where are we at? Where are we at on the passing thing, on the apology? Because he was he anti? He didn't think Roki was going to work out because it's gone back and forth.
He said,
"Talk to me."
To send him down to AAA.
Okay,
that's.
Let me ask you this question.
Yeah,
your friend Katie Wu kind of came at you a little bit yesterday on the show.
Yeah,
in a
she did.
Funny way on the Kyle Tucker thing. By the way, Team Doug on this. I am 1,000%. How do you feel about next time we have Passan on? Maybe we ask him just about that, not about our clip we put out, but maybe just be like, "How do you feel about the rookie take?"
Look, you could say the most embarrassing things about me to Jeff Passan if we get him on the show.
That's
it'd
not
be great.
that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying, should we ask him? Should we just be like, "Hey, dude, you said this about Roki a while back. Do you regret it?"
Yeah, we could.
Give him a little hard question.
We should.
Give him a little fastball.
But here's the thing.
A little knuckleball.
I forgive him. You know why? Because he's going to be the one. He's going to be the one that's going to give me Tarek Skubal. It's going to come from him. It's going to be a passing bomb. So all will be forgiven, Mr. Jeff Passan. Also, you came on this show. He was great. It was awesome. I mean, honestly,
he was great.
It was a dream. He is the guy. So
do you want me
he
to
can
write
do
him?
no wrong to me.
You know what's too late. I should have written him for Friday. I can. He'll say it's obnoxious to ask him for tomorrow. I should have done it earlier. That is a fail by me. One of the things about there's a lot of things about being a radio host that is a part of the job that some people don't like, and it makes people mad. People don't understand. They can't get their arms around, and they're not always great. One of them is you end up sort of rooting for what you want and not necessarily what you need. When I was a writer, I would just write for whatever column I wanted to write. Like I would root for whatever outcome I needed to make my story better the next day. And I'm having a little bit of that because I really want to be on the air with you when the Skubal trade comes down, and most of me wants to be on the air with you when Skubal goes to the Dodgers because like it's great content, it's great for the Dodgers. But if it's like 2:39 tomorrow and the news comes down that Skubal's a Brewer, this makes me a bad friend. I just want to see you melt down, dude. Look, it would be such good radio.
There will be.
Does that make sense?
If Tarek Skubal gets traded to the Brewers, there will be a generational all-time crash out from me, DMAC, on this show.
Dude, on live radio.
Yeah.
I mean, you're amazing at this job. You'll do it, but like if you have to just process it in real time, it makes me. And look, I know all of you are Dodgers fans, and I'm go Dodgers, and I'm here for it. My son is, and I love the organization, and like they're very classy. But it's the old root for the content.
Yeah, hashtag team content, right?
Let me try to reframe it this way so I don't get myself in trouble with the universe. I don't want Skubal to be traded to the Brewers. But if he's going to be traded to the Brewers, universe and baseball gods, please, please, please allow it to be when Doug and I are on the air together. It would be today, tomorrow, or Monday. I'm not rooting for it, but if it's coming, I want to be there with you.
I feel like you just might as well buy a Brewers hat, jersey, whatever
How
team.
How dare you?
I know. I feel like you want this pain.
We're not the show that goes anti-nuance. I just gave all the nuance.
I heard the nuance, and we're nuancing all the nuance,
all
but
right.
still, it does feel like...
That's fair.
I mean...
That's fair. I'm anti-nuance right now.
He is my official Red Reiter Carbon Action 200 BB gun for Christmas story. I need... Tarek Skubal.
You're so good at this.
On the Dodgers. I need that N64, and if it's like nights, he is the ultimate Christmas present for this team.
That's why it would be really funny to be sitting next to you.
True serum, I think that you genuinely at this point want him on another team just to see me cry, to see me crash out.
I mean, I just told you that there's definitely a pull of that. Look, in every human being, there's like...
Not a pull. I'm talking about 100%.
There's the good and the bad. It would be... But also... very cool if they just trade for Skubal and we're on the air together. And you know what I'm saying? And you don't do victory laps, so I won't have to endure that for 3 straight hours.
That's pretty funny.
Try, man. Andrew Free. By the way, you deserve the victory lap if Skubal's a Dodger because you've been banging this drum before most people knew it was time to even play music on the topic of the trade deadline. I'm learning from you. I'm trying.
You're the GOAT, man. Trust me.
Trying, bro. Andrew Friedman, also, this is again at the press conference yesterday, discussed the biggest issue in the Dodgers world, a question that still lingers because Ohtani is not playing today. We don't have any details on why, but yesterday Friedman talked about Ohtani's health.
So, show, I think, going back to the knee and the swelling and, as we were trying to kind of manage that on the fly, the bicep kind of flared up on him. And that got better. But our biggest thing was, especially land leg, was to be really cautious here. Subconsciously, we didn't want to put him in a position where he was altering his mechanics to try to, protect the knee in any way. And so he's been throwing plyos. He's been keeping his arm going. It's just been much more about taking the strain off the constant landing on that left leg. But I assume we'll get into catch play relatively soon.
Man, Friedman is so... Dude, every time I hear that guy talk, I just think that guy's so good at his job.
Yeah, did you hear him? That little clap sound?
I did.
He gets so locked in, so into it. I mean, look, we've gotten a lot of heated discussions about Shohei Ohtani, his health, and everything, but really what stands out, what Friedman just said, is you don't want to have any real compensation injuries, right? I mean, that's what happens. I mean, one injury leads to another injury when you're playing through an injury, but the fact that it feels like at the very least you get the plyo action, that there is a path to having him come back this season and pitching for this team. And look, if you ask Andrew Friedman, hey, what's more important to the Dodgers, Shohei hitting or Shohei pitching, he's going to say Shohei hitting. If he's being honest, and I know he will be. And I think that...
Oh, don't do that. What? This is what I told you do yesterday. You're very good, and then you like Friedman, great insight. I think you're the best Dodgers person out there. You really are, DMAC. And then you go, yeah, and if Friedman's honest, he is my exact opinion. That's why. I mean, just let Friedman talk for Friedman. You can talk for you.
Okay, fine.
Friedman has never said, come on, bro.
Hey, the point. Hey, look, I totally agree. But I think the point of that is that I think we're at the point with Shohei, and we both realize this, is that they are operating very cautiously moving forward. But the good thing is he's still extremely productive at the plate. And the fact that the fact that you're seeing him really turn things around offensively, because he has been struggling for a couple of weeks now, that's extremely encouraging, because that ultimately is going to be the most important thing for this Dodgers team, is the health of Shohei Ohtani. If you get Tarek Skubal, great. It's going to be nothing unless Shohei Ohtani is healthy to finish this season.
Look, I think everything he said is accurate, and Friedman's so impressive. And if he was honest, he would say that, like, I was right on Ohtani. That's the move you did. It's such a good move. It's such a good move.
Hey, I've seen some tricks from you last couple of days that I've tried to pick up on, and I've taken notes for too. So I put those in my bag too. Some of the tricks that you've got
when we're playing Parcheesi.
You've got a lot of clubs in your bag over there, Mr. Bill Reiter.
Slow down.
Okay?
Slow down the fast lane. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man. You're a Jedi.
Stop it. Oh, somebody was asking for your Yoda thing the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dodgers trade for Skubal, they will.
It wasn't
Skubal to Dodgers. Do it, Friedman.
But it wasn't me asking for it.
Oh, sorry.
I just wanted to set you up with that. That was so mean.
That was
I just wanted to do it.
Jeez.
I just wanted to be that guy.
Just pantsed me.
That wasn't very nice, but it made me laugh. And that sometimes is all that I'm after. DMAC, Doug McCain, and Reiter, Bill Reiter, on X, on YouTube, on all the stuff at the Fan LA, at the Fan LA. That's also where the stream is, of course. Thank you for hanging. Call us if you want. 855-97 LA Fan. Look, Shohei Ohtani is not starting today. We've talked about that a lot. He's not on the lineup. We don't know why. As soon as we do, as soon as Dave talks or any reporters sort of get the info, we'll let you know. Obviously, hopefully, fingers crossed, we very much are wishing that this is just, maybe it's a rest day, but if it's that, if it's something more, as soon as we know this is your home, this is your place, the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports, to figure out why Ohtani is not in the lineup. So just stay tuned for that. We'll get it to you immediately. There's an actual revolution going on in soccer right now, and we're going to try to get into this just very quickly. We're going to explain the greed and the ugliness and how this connects. Remember that red card that got taken back, and why there may not be a World Cup in 4 years, just a few weeks after one of the great World Cup experiences we've seen. We'll explain next on DMAC and Reiter. Good work by Bursch. Bringing back Doug's inspiration. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
You're going home. Writing down those lines, bro.
Don't write down my lines.
You do. Little
Jeez.
notebook.
This guy.
DMAC and Reiter.
Bars.
Presented by DTLA Law Group. On the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, visit calldowntown.com. That's calldowntown.com. He's Doug McCain. I am Bill Reiter. We love it when you give us phone calls, when you call in 855-97-LA Fan, 855-97-LA Fan. Let's take one of those callers. Chris in Koreatown. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for listening to the program. Thank you for calling in. You are on DMAC and Reiter.
Hey, what's going on? What up, DMAC? What up, Reiter?
What's up, buddy?
Long time, first time.
Welcome in.
Hey, I had questions regarding, I had thoughts on Tarek Skubal coming in or possibly favored to be signed today. Jeff Passan reported that the Dodgers are favorited, but then again, there is Milwaukee that may sign him. I'm not too worried if Tarek doesn't get picked up by the Dodgers. I mean, Snell is expected to make a start next week, and Glassy is maybe a month behind him. I have more concerns about Glassy in the long-term future as far as being healthy. I don't think Glassy is going to be, someone that's going to be in the picture for the long term. But then again, that's another topic for another day. I also had a comment about Luka and his training camp. I think it's a great step in the right direction for Luka, trying to take reins on being a leader. It's his team now. He has to take initiative and put the best foot forward and becoming a leader. I think he has it in him. I think he has a lot to prove. I am in the opinion that the Lakers are a dark horse. There's a lot of people counting them out.
I agree. Fan. Yeah, no, keep going, bro. I'm gonna make that case in 45 minutes. Keep going,
I'm
bro.
out. But thanks, guys. Y'all do your thing.
No, dude, that's a great call, bro. I appreciate you. Thank you for calling in, Chris. I actually think Derek Fisher made a really good point yesterday when I was on the show, and I want to get more into this basketball point. Derek made the case, and it is the overarching perspective in the NBA, and it's totally reasonable that the NBA goes to the Western Conference, Thunder, Spurs. I'm with Chris. I actually think that there's a chance that's not going to play out that way, even though it's the right perspective today. So we're doing that. That's scheduled 25 minutes from now. The Glasnow thing is interesting. It made me. I've never asked you this because my experience in actually talking about the Dodgers and covering the Dodgers is pre-Friedman and then the first year and a half of Friedman, DMAC back in the day, when they came in and they cut salary for a while and kind of got the books in order and then spent a bunch of money the right way. Back sort of pre this ownership group, they were spending money the wrong way. What do you think the Dodgers' threshold for lots of money as it relates to risk is? If you want to consider Glasnow a risk, if you want to consider, sort of Skubal a risk, if they give him, if that's what the market demands, if they bring him in and then they actually deal with Scott Boras, what is the Dodgers' willingness to spend a lot of money on high upside guys, especially pitchers, when maybe there are some concerns?
They're spending a lot of money, they're making a lot of money, and they're reinvesting a lot of money. I mean, you brought up Kyle Tucker early, right? Getting $60 million, but just because of where they're at, as far as being repeat offenders, as far as where the CBT is, they're essentially paying him $120 million for 1 year, right? So someone like a Tyler Glasnow, it's premium starting pitching, and the Dodgers, they have shown in recent years that they are willing to pay up when it comes to premium arms. And someone like a Tyler Glasnow, in the grand scheme of things, 5 years, $136 million. He helped them win a World Series last year, so he's already really been worth it. I mean, the first year he got injured. Last year he was big. We'll see what happens this year. But really the grand scheme of pitcher contracts, right? Skubal's about to sign for $400+ million. Tyler Glasnow, you owe him $32 million next year, $32 million the year after that, and you have a $30 million club option for 2028. To answer the question is, they're not going to be hurting or losing sleep over how much they're paying a Tyler Glasnow, because that's the price of doing business when it comes to elite starting pitching.
In the next guy, right? I get it. In the Glasnow thing worked. I'm more. That's really interesting. Also, DMAC and Reiter here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports, and Chris again in Koreatown. Thank you for the call. Okay, so Glasnow's paid off, right? He has paid off the investment. The World Series is what it is. Let's say that he can't be healthy. Let's just say that he isn't able to sort of recover and consistently be out there for the Dodgers. Does that in any way impact what they spend on other people that they think are worth the investment?
I don't think so, just because a couple years ago they lost out on that investment for Trevor Bauer, right? And that was a complete bust because of everything that happened with him.
That guy.
But they still had a record-setting AAV. And I think the Dodgers are always going to be case by case, right? We always say this is they don't have to do anything, but they have the power to do everything, right? Whether it be trade for someone, pay for a player. I mean, I did mention a name yesterday in Hunter Green, the pitcher for the Reds.
You called and that hit. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
You were ahead on that too.
And now the Hunter Green thing is starting to spread a little bit. And someone like a Hunter Green is someone I think is in that same bucket as a Tyler Glass now. High velocity guy, big guy, great when he's out there, but has had some injury issues. They want big stuff. Tyler Glass now has big stuff. They're willing to pay that. I think future stuff is going to have to largely be dependent on the CBA, the salary cap, all that kind of stuff. But what Friedman has shown is that the formula in this era with the back-to-back titles, you've seen elite starting pitching. They have the Yamamoto contracts, $325 million. So they are going to invest a ton of money on that side.
Yeah, dude, it's super interesting. Chris, thank you for the phone call. All right, so quickly, here's the FIFA deal if you don't know this, right? So FIFA runs worldwide soccer and the World Cup. It has connected associations that sort of operate regionally, and there's a guy who runs it, Gianni Infantino, he is extremely powerful, and fair or not fair, I think it's fair. FIFA is considered every bit as corrupt as the NCAA, certainly was pre-NIL, maybe still is, and maybe the Olympics, right? That's kind of, if talking like sports corruption levels of sort of eye rolls. But even this takes the cake by those standards, because there's now a plan by FIFA to sell a huge minority stake in the company, in a company that basically run the World Cup. So I can go into the sort of specifics if you want, Doug, or if people want, but suffice it to say, FIFA has come up with a plan to raise $4.2 billion and sell to private investors basically the World Cup, even though you're supposed to just be the stewards of the World Cup. And there is some reporting out there, it doesn't mean it's accurate, but reporting that people in leadership roles that are doing this would get a cut of the money. And so there's sort of hints and worries about corruption. UEFA, which is the European leg of basically the football federation and the soccer federation in Europe, has said we won't do the World Cup. CONCACAF, which is us, right? It's the United States and Central America, Central America, North America. They have said that they are not down with this plan, but they haven't quite, I don't think yet, as we went on the air, said they won't be at the World Cup. And to sort of connect this to and this isn't politics, I'm just sharing the information with you. Jared Kushner is the son-in-law of the President of the United States. And obviously the President of the United States is close with Infantino, who's the head of FIFA, and we know that because the president told us that he called and got the red card suspended or lifted or whatever the term, it was technically suspended, but we know that Balogun got to play because the president called and talked to the guy who runs FIFA in what is literally an unprecedented move in the history of soccer. So now it turns out that Jared Kushner, who is married to Donald Trump's daughter, the president's daughter, Jared Kushner is one of the private investors who would presumably stand to make lots and lots and lots of money. So the reaction around the world is, the U.S. got the guy to play and the red card taken away because they are actually a part of the secret plan to make a bunch of people rich at the expense of soccer. And the organizations that run soccer are freaking out. And by the way, UEFA is not exactly Mother Teresa here. And so for UEFA to be the sort of standard of excellence and morality, and soccer has its own irony, but it certainly looks and feels like a money play. It is connected to the U.S. men's national team's red card that got taken away. And Doug, it looks ugly, and to the people in soccer in the world, it feels greedy and wrong.
They have that reputation, right?
They really do.
This just makes things like that worse. Like, you're not going to beat those allegations. You're not going to change that reputation when you hear things like this. And that's why you look at the World Cup. I mean, it's just the biggest event. It's just, we're talking about billions and billions of dollars, the biggest countries, the biggest names, billions of people watching. And you hear stuff like this, and it's not like it makes you question the validity of the winner or something like that, but it does make it feel dirty.
So I think, and again, we're not going to go deep into the sort of X's and O's of the bylaws of. I think Switzerland is where they're incorporated. But the comp for this would be if I don't even know who runs the NCAA these days. If the president of the NCAA sold 22% of March Madness to private equity firms, and then potentially, allegedly, reportedly took a whole bunch of that money with them, right? But whoa, like I know you already make enough money, but you're not supposed to be cash. You don't own March Madness. How are you selling March Madness? It might be if the president of UCLA sold 22% of UCLA football to private equity and cashed a whole bunch of money allegedly on their own. Whoa. You're the president of the university. You make six figures. You make a good living. You're eating good dinners. You're doing your thing, but you don't own UCLA football. Own it. You run it. That's different, and you don't get to cash in on it. So that's the level of holy bleep that's going on in soccer. And the fact that UEFA says they won't play in the World Cup, and not just the World Cup, all the events that they run, but the World Cup is the one we all know about, they mean it. They voted, and the reporting is it was unanimous, and that the CONCACAF, which again is sort of includes the United States team, that they are almost unified. You could have a world where there's a baseball lockout in the next 6 months, and then there's basically no international soccer until this thing gets resolved. And I like it, Doug. I think it's great by UEFA and CONCACAF. Do not let, if this is true, people steal your sport and cash in on it and ruin it. I don't want soccer run, just like I don't want the Rose Bowl and UCLA football and March Madness run by private equity. We don't want that. I'm not sure it's going to work to try to stop them because there's billions with a B, not millions with an M on the line. And when it comes to money and greed, sometimes, unfortunately, those are powerful forces.
Yeah, and the funny thing is it says FIFA is currently a Swiss-based not-for-profit association, right? So
wow.
It kind of makes you scratch your head. But, I mean, then there's people out there that says FIFA is nothing without UEFA, right? And you really have to work together. But if I'm these countries in this level of corruption, things like that, I mean, what's stopping them from finding a way to just try to find an alternative?
But you know what? That's a great point. Maybe I know we're going long here, but maybe the right comp is if the NCAA try to pull this and the SEC is to the NCAA what UEFA is to FIFA.
Yeah.
If UEFA just says, which is the European Soccer sort of association, said, you know what, to hell with it, we'll do our own thing, it could work. I mean, but they'd have to go to war, and I think we all agree that if the SEC went to war against the NCAA, they'd probably win. But they might not, especially if the Big Ten had made up its mind and decided, right? Like, because then there's all these other factors that get in the mix. So look, man, I love sports. I said this to the guys yesterday on the morning show. Like, the thing I love about sports, that I love about it, is I really think this is true. I think it reflects the human experience. And, like, when amazing things happen, good or bad, right, you feel alive. And I do think you can relate to those things. Like, you know, when Kirk Gibson limps up and hits a home run, I'm not Kirk Gibson, but I know what it's like. I was a kid at the time. Be like, oh my God, like there's magic in the universe, right? Unfortunately, it also reflects the dark parts of being a human being too. And this is that level of greed to the point of just being hard to look at.
Yeah, I mean, this level of corruption is just kind of wild to think about, all the money that is being discussed. So, look, I mean, I think most people, they're like, hey, 4 years from now, we just want to see the global presentation. We want to see our superstars. But there is a dark underbelly to all of this. And people know about this, but I think that on a deeper level, this will definitely start to make waves. So, yeah, I'm with you, man. Sports, a deeper connection. It really is. It's an emotional connection. It brings us all together. I think it's kind of one of those last kind of bastions of, hey, tribal stuff that kind of brings us together like that. And you talk about the Kirk Gibson home run, and then so many years later, Freddie Freeman hits the walk-off grand slam. That kind of stuff brings us together, and the World Cup is the same thing.
DMAC and Reiter here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. We're obviously on Aaron Donald watch. We hope he will retire. What a boon that would be for the Rams. You're going to want to hear what Myles Garrett had to say about that next on DMAC and Reiter. All right, what up? Welcome back into the show. He's Doug McCain. I am Bill Reiter. It's DMAC and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports, accident or injury. Text injury up to 40222. If you're on the stream, you got to see me cough. But if you're on the radio, you didn't. It's the behind-the-scenes magic. It is time for the NFL Report.
It's time for the latest headlines on and off the gridiron. It's DMAC and Reiter's NFL Report.
Hey, Birch.
Hey, guys. This is the NFL Report. And we're going around training camp. The Rams are off today, but yesterday Myles Garrett talked about the possibility of teaming up with Aaron Donald.
If he's here, I'm going to be excited to be his teammate, his partner in crime. And I think we can do great things. There's a lot we can learn from each other, and I'd love to pick his brain on the kind of things he does to attack his matchups, and I think the same could be said vice versa.
One of the things that I like to do sometimes, DMAC, is call former producers of mine, radio producers, because I was in national radio, as you know, and some of them are still in national radio, and they have a very different perspective, and just sort of stress check, here's my view, here's Doug's view. How does this compare to the national view, right? Because we're in LA and we have an LA perspective, and we should have an LA perspective. And I asked my buddy Tom, who we call Pretty Daddy, what is the view of the Rams? That's his nickname. I called him Pretty Daddy on the air for 3 years. Yeah, Bursch is so
you said
lucky.
Casually threw that in. Pretty Daddy?
Pretty Daddy.
I like that.
There's a backstory if you ever want it. I was just like, hey, man, Rams. And I just go, let me just, nationally speaking, the conversation that Rams or the field in the NFC, is that stupid? He goes, not only is it not stupid, most people nationally would take the Rams over the field in the NFC. And he goes, and if AD comes back, I think everybody would. And I know we know this, but it just hit me. It's not just the sort of sunny skies of Hollywood and LA and because we're here. The people across America are looking at LA and going, oh my God, the Dodgers and the Rams, Skubal, and maybe AD now. Dude, if and when he comes back, as Myles Garrett was talking about, it is going to be a national party of sort of interest and frustration and attention.
It's going to send absolute shockwaves around the NFL just because you are already the Super Bowl favorites, and then you're adding Aaron Donald. That's the ultimate cheat code. That feels like it's unfair. And the awesome thing about this is he has nothing to prove. Aaron Donald, if you're watching, if you're listening, you have nothing to prove. Your legacy is secure. You don't come back because you have anything to prove. You come back because you still love the game and you want to be a part of this. He changed what it meant to be a Ram. He was the heartbeat of that championship team. So just have him come back, join forces with Myles Garrett. We can say that is easily going to be the most formidable duo that we've ever seen. So I cannot wait for that announcement. It feels like it's pretty imminent, next couple of weeks.
You are an opposing quarterback who's not great. I'm not talking Mahomes or Josh Allen. You're under center. You look out, you see Myles Garrett, you see Aaron Donald. First time in history in an actual game that counts that a quarterback just says, actually, we give up. I will surrender this drive.
Oh, yeah. Rest
you guys
in peace, man. I mean, it's crazy to think about what that would look like. I mean, we saw with Von Miller and Aaron Donald, it was one thing, but Myles Garrett and Aaron Donald,
dude,
it's something else. Offensive
especially
coordinators.
if AD comes back at the level that we sort of anticipate maybe he can. If he's not a shell of himself, which I don't think any of us expect. If he comes back, it's going to be because he can perform at a high level.
And I think that's the only thing that we're waiting for. And that's probably the only question he's asking himself is, I know what I looked like the last time I played this game, and I was still playing at an all-pro level. If I can still do that, which I think he still can, it's going to change everything for this team, man. I mean, it's going to be absolutely scary. Offensive coordinators are going to be losing sleep all season long going up against Myles Garrett and Aaron Donald.
Well, this week at training camp, Sean McVay discussed the impression that rookie receiver C.J. Daniels has made thus far.
He's done a good job. He's a mature rookie. I think, I mentioned it in the spring when we talked about it. He's mature for a rookie. You can see he's come in, no-nonsense mentality, but he enjoys football. And then he's a great listener, whether it's paying attention to his coaches with Rob, with Yarbs, with Robert Woods, with Nate Shieldhouse, and then he's got some incredible guys to learn from.
You've ruined McVay for me. I cannot hear this guy now without.
Hey, Gary, I think C.J. Daniels is a really good receiver out of Miami. He only had 2 drops last year for the Hurricanes. He really helped the Rams, Gary. Yeah. But honestly, C.J. Daniels, though, like I said, 2 drops with the U. Yeah, a 2.1% drop rate. That he's got great hands, so I think he kind of fits perfect in that third wide receiver role. You can work him in the slot there, work coverage over the middle. You got that Miami pedigree. So, yeah, is he what I think Mekhi Lemon could have been? Probably not, but I still think he could be serviceable. So you love to see them having some success out there at Rams training camp early on.
Dude, I know. I mean, I just cannot wait. We have football meetings. I cannot wait for
football
season.
We're getting closer and closer. Hey, by the way, I heard the World Cup, they're like, I can't wait for real football. I hate that stuff, by the way, right? During, like, when it's big soccer time, real football, come on. They're both awesome.
See, the thing, I actually call football, American football, and I call soccer football. I call them both football mouse.
You do?
I do. Are you a soccer guy?
I say football sometimes if I want to be nasty.
It's just like the content, right? If Lori's like, what are you watching? I'm like, I'm watching football.
Sometimes I'll pronounce it football, like that.
Can I tell you a story about my wife that makes her mad?
Yeah.
I once convinced, she's not a big sports fan. I once convinced her, oh, she's so mad when I tell the story. I once convinced her the Super Bowl was played off the coast of New Orleans on an island called Les Orleans because there was no laws there, and so you could gamble and drink. And she was not amused. And so now whenever I like basically try to trick her or do trick her, I call it a Les Orleans.
Wow. That's pretty hilarious.
A great person.
And pretty cruel at the same time. Les Orleans sounds like a great place.
Right?
It's like Atlantis, but Les Orleans.
I let that ride for a while. She now pulls a Doug McCain, just denies it.
Oh, okay. What? Wait a minute.
But it happened.
Why'd I catch a stray there? I don't like that.
That wasn't fair. That was mean.
Well, meanwhile,
that was a stray, wasn't it?
At Chargers camp, Chargers social media put out this clip of Mike McDaniel and Jim Harbaugh just kind of hanging out together at practice yesterday.
Coach, you feel the juice, Coach? You feel the juice?
Yeah.
We just got too many ball guys.
You can't help yourself.
It's awesome, man. It's awesome. Look at us run to the line of scrimmage.
I think of it like all the investment that's been made.
Right.
You know? It's like putting money in the bank. Now it's time to start withdrawing.
I've never wanted training camp to start more.
We should do maybe the list this week and play that clip. We should do we do like top 5, worst 5 or something. We should just do LA duos because I mean AD and Myles Garrett is high on that. These two dudes is just wackadoodle, potential genius, charming in the goofiest ways possible. These guys are awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of like that buddy cop movie we didn't know we needed or something. I mean, just a little adventure with those two, and vibes are high. And I think the biggest thing for me for Jim Harbaugh is wanting that version of Mike McDaniel, knowing he's quirky, knowing he's different, knowing that.
You think he's into it?
I think he is. I really do.
You need to be.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that he realizes that his career, really the future of it, is going to be hinging on Justin Herbert and the success of the Chargers. And I think Harbaugh realizes, hey, I got to start winning because I got to win on a high level and kind of break through. This is the breakthrough season for the Chargers.
Justin Herbert obviously much more important in sort of a higher focus, but if you're Mike McDaniel, this is just as big a season for your career as it is for Herbert's. If it doesn't work, who is actually more to blame? Not who will be blamed. If Herbert doesn't work, is that more of a McDaniel thing or more of a Herbert thing?
It's got to be more of a Herbert thing
I think
at that
it is
point.
too.
Yeah,
but I'm a McDaniel believer, and I'm a Herbert doubter. I know you're all in.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, Madison Beer got her ring. We'll see if Herbert can get his and how long that'll take. So he's got the talent. He's got the arm talent.
Sorry, Doug McCain bingo. I just got Madison Beer. Got it. Close.
Those pictures are great, man. I went through this a couple different times.
What'd you say?
Those pictures.
Which ones?
The proposal pictures.
I honestly thought you were saying something else. I thought you were just saying like you Google image Madison Beer.
Oh,
I was like, really? I mean, okay.
No, I'm so happy for him. A happy quarterback. Was it happy wife, happy life, happy quarterback playoff win? Hopefully.
Right. Look at the clock. Happy host. DMAC and Reiter here on the show. I'm going to make a case against the West in the Western Conference of the NBA next. DMAC and Reiter. All right, what up, LA? He is Doug McCain. I am Bill Reiter. This is DMAC and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222, or visit calldowntown.com. Have I told you that my son Henry is way into these card shows? These things are huge, man.
I heard. You mentioned it yesterday. Was it? It's you got the VIP ticket. What? 180.
180. We're not doing VIP. We're going straight. We're
going straight up?
We're going standard. We're going, But I can't remember if I told you this yesterday, because yesterday was a whirlwind day. I was here all day. Had a lot of fun doing the morning show, did the midday show. Obviously, love doing our show. Did I tell you that there's going to be one at Dodger Stadium in September?
Oh, you really?
Yeah, and I'm like that one. I'm excited to go to.
So you're rolling.
Oh yeah, because like Henry will be looking at cards, and I'll just be walking around Dodger Stadium.
So that's gonna be a lot of fun. So,
and I'm assuming it's on the field, right?
Yeah.
Gotta be.
So you showed up, man. You came through. I didn't come through, by the way, today. When I dropped my daughter off at her daycare.
Oh no!
I looked around. I noticed about 35 different tents, like little tents.
Oh, that's a terrible feeling.
And I was like, "What's up with all these tents?" And they're like, "DMAC, it's tent day." And I was like, "Oh, sorry, Kira has no tent." So they're having a nap tent thing, and she's the only kid without a tent. I guess I wasn't attentive.
There is no. Oh, that
sorry.
was very. We should get a cheer on that.
That hurt me. But
sorry.
But yeah, do you think am I a terrible dad for that? I mean,
no. That stuff happens. Is Jean like in, I don't know, on the moon? Like, because like you are sharing a lot of stuff today. How do you know she's not listening?
That's a good point. No, she'll check in. She'll rock with us on the Odyssey app. Big on the Odyssey app.
The free Odyssey
app.
app.
The free Odyssey app.
Because it doesn't cost anything.
It doesn't.
Okay. So are they gonna like give her a tent?
I think she has to sleep on the ground. No tent. Okay. Actually, I asked. I literally said, "Can she share a tent with someone?" So she's gonna try to sneak into someone else's tent.
Not a bad dad.
Yeah.
How's the clean dress thing going?
That's good. I'm on a streak of 8 straight days without putting a dirty dress on my daughter. Of course, I got in trouble because I took a dirty dress that I thought was a clean dress out of the hamper, and she went to school with it. My daughter snitched on me, and I got in big trouble. And I was sleeping in the front yard for a couple days.
All right, so I think it was Chris who called from Koreatown earlier at 855-97 LA fan, made the point he thinks the Lakers are good enough to really compete in the Western Conference. And we should get into that. We can get into that. There's a view. It's a reasonable view. It's Vegas's view. It is almost every GM's view that I talk to when I still occasionally check in, that the entire NBA goes through the Western Conference. And there's a lot of people who think, and I think this was a factor, that LeBron went east in part to sort of avoid Oklahoma City and avoid the Thunder. In fact, when I was on D-Fish and Decker yesterday, we obviously were having sort of a conversation, a debate. Really enjoyed it. Very gracious of the guys to let me come onto their show. I know we've talked a lot about it. There was a basketball conversation I kind of want to have that I want to have now that we didn't quite get into because obviously there's other stuff going on. But D-Fish made a point that's a really good one, that is reasonable. That's not even reasonable. It is the prevailing view of the NBA, and it is that the Western Conference is a pretty brutal place.
Almost everybody else in the world clearly knows Oklahoma City and San Antonio run the Western Conference. You're not getting through them.
So, yes, 100% that's the view. And I'm not even making the case, Doug. I'm not even saying, no, the Western Conference sucks and the Thunder suck and the Spurs suck. Can I introduce some hope for the Lakers, and not just the Lakers, the other teams in the West, that I think is actually based on history and is based on the sort of patterns of the National Basketball Association? Is it likely that the NBA is going to have the 2 best teams or the 2 of the 3 best teams, if you want to go Knicks, since they're the defending champions, in the Western Conference? Yes. But I don't think it's set, man. I don't think it's a guarantee. I don't think, like Thanos, it's inevitable the way that people think. And I understand why they think that. Here are just like a few reminders. Let me go historical and then sort of poke some holes, I think, in the inevitability of the Spurs and the Thunder. And I'll just go to the last one. There was a team that had the best offensive rating and the 3rd best defensive rating in the NBA. They had a guy that was considered a top 5 player. They had a coach who was considered a genius. They had a young core. This team won an NBA championship in 2024. It was the Boston Celtics. And the belief was, the expectation was that Boston had a chance to create a Warriors-like dynasty, shorter run because they were going to have some contracts and the aprons were going to hit eventually, but they had several years of runway where the Boston Celtics were the new big dog. The Boston Celtics were the team to beat. With Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and company, the Celtics were going to be an absolute force. In fact, a year after the Celtics won that NBA championship, not even the year after, a few months later, they were by far the betting favorites. The next closest team to be an NBA champion had twice less likely to be there. And you get to today, and the Boston Celtics traded away Jaylen Brown. And like the entire NBA has been rewired in part because Boston wasn't what we thought that they were. And you can kind of go back through time for these things happening. And I say this all the time. It's not a criticism of anybody in particular. It is not a criticism of anybody in particular. There is a conformity to NBA media coverage that was true 10 years ago before Clutch Sports was around. I think it's even more true now, just with like how powerful very few voices are in the NBA. This notion and this idea that the Thunder and the Spurs are guaranteed to dominate, it just, to me, it is not set yet, is wrong. Which one do you want me to sort of... I think there's real reasons to doubt the Spurs and the Thunder. Which one do you want me to go after first?
I would have Spurs at number one, so I'd probably start with that.
Okay, so there's a couple things here. One, maybe three. Wembanyama and his health is not a guarantee. I am not rooting against Wemby. I hope that he will be healthy. I hope he can be the guy. He obviously was able to be healthy enough last year. They were amazing and dominant. But the way that his body is built, right, it's an injury concern. But the main thing here is I just saw Wembanyama utterly crash out of the NBA Finals. I just saw Wembanyama not be able to handle, even remotely, the pressure and the magnitude of trying to win an NBA championship. And the way that he was dirty and the way that he played, the way that Wemby became a villain. Maybe he's Kobe Bryant, right? Maybe he's got that dog in him. But the notion and the guarantee that he is going to be a multi-time champion was always predicated on two things, one of which we knew was true. One was the guy is one of the great talents we've ever seen. That is real. But you also just have to be able to execute under pressure. You have to be able to be that guy. And let me also say this about the Spurs, just by way of you never know. Do you know what the Spurs' odds were last year to be NBA champions? 65-1, dude. Nobody saw San Antonio coming last year. Surprises are what happen all the time. Beyond the Wembanyama factor, that De'Aaron Fox contract is an absolute nightmare. De'Aaron Fox forgot how to play basketball over the course of that stretch. And we know that when teams fail to win NBA championships and collapse and fail, and sometimes when they win NBA championships, there are hangovers, there are problems. There are very few teams outside of LeBron and the Warriors had to go get KD, who fail in the finals and then come back and win an NBA championship the next year. It has kind of a psychological impact. To say nothing of the fact that the Spurs haven't won an NBA title. They don't have a championship pedigree. And so for me, do I think the Spurs can be really, really good? Of course. And I'm not in any way saying they're not formidable. But just this sense that the Thunder and the Spurs, DMAC and Reiter here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports, are the Warriors when they had their run. Are LeBron when he went to go to the Eastern Conference Finals 8 or 9 times in a row? It hasn't happened yet. And the second team, everyone points to the Thunder. Maybe they're amazing. Maybe they're everything we think they are. And again, I'm not disrespecting them. I'm just not going to, what's the Denny Green? You want to crown him? I'm just not going to crown them yet. They didn't even make the finals last year. I know they lost to the Spurs. So what is that, a straw man argument? But they didn't even make the finals last year. But that's not the thing that actually makes me sort of doubt them. And this is where they remind me of the Celtics. The 2024 Celtics are NBA champions. They were a great team. They deserved every bit of those accolades. Again, best offense, third best defensive rating in the NBA in the regular season. And that was it, man. They were one and done. Not only one and done, they collapsed, they fell apart, there were injuries. Jaylen Brown all those things. The Thunder team that won the NBA championship is the exact same team, just a little different. They were third in offensive rating, and they were first in defensive rating. I'm not convinced the Thunder win that series if Tyrese Halliburton actually doesn't get injured. The Pacers were in that thing. In fact, I'll go further. I had money on the Pacers to win. I thought the Pacers were going to win that series. And so maybe the Thunder, maybe they are. Maybe they are the team that are going to make 5 out of 9 finals. They're going to win 2 or 3 or 4 of them. And everybody who says this is the team to beat are right. Maybe. Or maybe they're the team that in an alternate universe don't even win an NBA championship a couple finals ago because Tyrese Halliburton doesn't get injured and then don't even beat the Spurs. My point is, I understand the healthy respect you should have for the Spurs and the Thunder. I understand the formidability of those teams. But people in the NBA will tell you, and LA should know this better than anybody because Kobe talked about it. Learning how to be a champion is different than learning how to be a star. Learning how to be a perennial champion is different than learning how to win 2 or 3 and sometimes 4 series. And so the idea and the notion that the West, that the NBA goes to the West, maybe I'm just not there yet. Nobody thought the Knicks were going to win an NBA championship. Well, I didn't think they were going to win an NBA championship last year. Very few people thought the Spurs were good enough to be a top 2 or 3 team in the West, let alone make the NBA Finals. Nobody saw the Pacers coming a couple years ago. That was a team that weren't even on the radar until they had this incredible February where they kind of figured things out. And they had a chance to be NBA champions against the Thunder, the inevitable Thunder, until Halliburton got hurt. And so, not Matt, this isn't a LeBron topic. You shouldn't have left. That's not what this is. I'm not convinced the West is the thing people think it is, not because I think it's wrong. It's because we haven't seen it. They haven't proven it. There isn't a team that's won multiple titles in the Western Conference right now. There isn't a team that is utterly and totally unstoppable. There is no Dodgers. There's not even a Rams, right? In the sense of you look at the roster and you look at the pedigree and you go, okay, is the best coach in the Western Conference on the Spurs or the Thunder like we have in the Rams? Maybe. I don't think so. Certainly not. That's not definitive yet. Is the best player in the NBA unequivocally on the Spurs or the Thunder? It's a maybe, but I don't see LeBron James from 5 years ago on that team. I don't think SGA is that guy just yet. The guys are amazing. This sense of certainty, of inevitability, that's not how the league has worked. And I'm not convinced that a Thunder team that may not have beaten the Pacers and a Spurs team that hasn't won an NBA championship adds up to you can't get through these guys. And that's before you get into the history of the fact we haven't had a back-to-back NBA champion since the Golden State Warriors. And what does that mean? I mean, in that possibility, and I think it's possible in that context, it's a big if. But if the Lakers, DMAC, put together the right plan, why not the Lakers, dude? Why not they're the new version of what the Knicks have become over the last 2 or 3 years?
Yeah, I mean, the Lakers clearly have one of the best players in the NBA, and they also have Austin Reeves back paired with them. The Lakers in Luka and Austin Reeves without LeBron were a plus 8.3 last year, so you feel pretty good about that tandem. And the fact, too, that they did that with DeAndre Ayton as their, quote, rim protector. Of course, using air quotes because he wasn't protecting the rim like Walker Kessler is going to do and be that presence and that role man. I do think the Lakers, from a shooting standpoint, with Rui gone, Luke Kennard gone, you got to prove that there's going to be that level of production. But I think starting with the Spurs, though, I do want to kind of start with the Spurs as far as, it feels like we always kind of crown this fake champion, right? It's
every time.
Even like Dwight Howard's Magic, or the Thunder when you had Russ and KD and Harden still together. It was always, there's going to be this inevitable champion, right? The thing about the Spurs is I do love the fact that they did bring back Julian Champagnie, and you still have 3 really good guards, even though De'Aaron Fox struggled incredibly in a bad way
so bad,
when he blew that layup. Here's the thing. Championships typically are won the last 5 minutes, and you got to see Victor Wembanyama take that leap in the fourth quarter of the big-time impactful finals games. Last year, 35% shooting in the fourth quarter, but having said that, they did still lead that Knicks team for 72% of that series. They did still beat that Thunder team in a Game 7 on the road. But there's a lot of young players that still need to take the next step. You still need Stephon Castle to become a more reliable scorer, Dylan Harper and De'Aaron Fox, and they have really good guards.
I do like Dylan Harper a lot.
Can Wemby be that MVP? But we're not talking about a team that's won a championship, or Victor Wembanyama. What kind of leap is he going to take? Is he going to take that MVP leap this season? I think that could be scary. And you look at the Thunder, they're not going to be the same team on paper. Of course, Lou Dort's gone. But they did draft Adai Mara as a big center, and I think for them it's going to be, can Chet Holmgren kind of shake off that bad postseason and kind of be that guy they hope he could be?
I just think this defeatist perspective by everybody, this idea that the Timberwolves and the Nuggets and the Lakers and whoever I'm forgetting in the West can't do it, it may prove to be true. There's a lot of reason to think that's true. But I think there's an argument out there that the West is not set yet. And you just said this, the Knicks were down most of that series, but they won an NBA championship. It is hard to win these things. It is hard to get to the level of a champion. And the Lakers have a million question marks. And I get aggregated there are a few things that I constantly get aggregated on. LeBron James is one of them. And sometimes the right person's watching NBA. So I'm trying to have nuance here. So just to be very clear, if I were putting together my predictions, I would go Spurs 1, Thunder 2, right? I get it. Therefore, you got to go through them. They're great. They're amazing. There's no inevitability for me. There is no, and part of this is how the CBA is meant to actually shape the league. This is by design, by the CBA, by how the aprons work, by what Adam Silver required and wanted, why Lou Dort is somewhere else, why a De'Aaron Fox contract can be problematic if he doesn't play well in the postseason or just sort of loses his confidence as he gets older, because you don't have the same flexibility to make adjustments like you do in baseball and even in the National Football League. No one has dominated in the Western Conference in terms of championships. Now, the Thunder have made one and won one, and the Spurs have made one and lost one. But again, somebody has the opportunity, I think, to prove that as a fallacy. And the recipe we see for that is defense, is cohesion. Now, that works against the Lakers. It may take a minute. It will take a minute. I'm not saying the Lakers are going to win an NBA championship next year and having a superstar player. Why are the Knicks NBA champions? Because Jalen Brunson's a top 5 player, especially in the postseason. As crazy as that is to say out loud, that is absolutely reality. Why are the Thunder champions before that? Because of SGA. Why do the Denver Nuggets have one championship? Because the best player on earth played for that team. Luka Doncic is a perennial, record-breaking, consistent first-team All-NBA player. That is a top 5 player in the NBA year after year after year after year after year. There is no reason to put up the white flag if you're a Lakers fan, if you think Rob Pelinka and company put together the right team. The bigger question mark to me isn't can you win in the West. I don't think that's it. I think the bigger question mark is, are the Lakers able to be a good enough basketball team to sort of challenge the two other guys?
See, that's it right there. If they can be respectable from a seeding standpoint and be in that 3-4 range, and then just have the opportunity to where, okay, we don't have to face these guys in a play-in game that could maybe reduce the chances of going far in the playoffs or a tough team in that first round. You just want to be able to build that momentum. And yes, they have improved the roster, but from a defensive standpoint, that's going to be the big questions. Who are going to be the defenders outside of Walker Kessler? I mean, you've got Grimes, you got Mamu, but I mean, there's going to be questions there. I think the thing about me, though, is I will say that I still think the Western Conference has the 2 best teams in the NBA, and that's the Spurs and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Because here's the thing. If the Thunder had Jalen Williams and A.J. Mitchell, they're going to beat the Spurs, and they would have gone to the NBA Finals. I think they would have beaten the Knicks, right?
I don't know, man. Maybe.
Jalen Williams is an incredible player.
No, he's an incredible
and
player.
They lost Game 7 at home. I mean, it doesn't guarantee it's happening, but I think to one point you made as far as the parity goes, not only have we not had
almost won, would have won the Pacers.
Yeah, if he doesn't tear his Achilles. But, I mean, who knows, man? That's still a home game in OKC. Who knows what happens there? But you've only had
There's no home game advantage. I'm just going to tell you right now, I do not believe in home court advantage in the Game 7 of NBA Finals. Like, there's so much pressure all of a sudden. Look,
look at the Spurs. I mean, they answered that this year. But
if Jalen Williams is healthy, I'm also bet. I get it. I think you're right. I just think this idea that they're unbeatable. There is no Steph prime Warriors. There is no LeBron prime Heat or Cavs. There's just I don't think those teams are out there. And I think that a lot of times we, and I'm included in this, take the reality of what the NBA was like 10 years ago and impose it on the best couple teams. Are the Spurs and the Thunder the best 2 teams in the NBA? Yes. Does that, or at least 2 of the 3, Knicks deserve some respect. They're NBA champions. Does that mean, like it did 10 years ago, you can't get through the West? No. I don't, or at least not necessarily.
I mean, it was still top-heavy last year, right? The Thunder and the Spurs, they still made it deep. Another thing, too, to your point, to kind of piggyback off that as far as the no repeat champion, you've only had 2 teams go back to the conference finals in those consecutive years in this stretch. From 2019, it's the Lakers who went back to the conference finals after winning that title when they got swept by the Nuggets, and then we saw the Thunder last season. So even just getting back to the conference finals is something that we have not seen from teams that have won championships in this window. So, yeah, I mean, look, this is Adam Silver's NBA. He wants teams to have those opportunities to make deep runs. And here's the thing. The bottom line, too, for the Lakers is they have the most important thing figured out, and that is, do we have a top 5 player? The answer is yes with Luka Doncic. Also, Is this team better, more complete than last year's team? I think it is. You actually have a paint presence in Walker Kessler. And 2, we'll see what life without LeBron looks like, because I think that it's tough to assess the chemistry with Reeves and Luka for a long stretch with an actual rim protector. That's going to unlock them to another level. Luka doesn't need much unlocking, but just to have someone that can be a better lob threat, a roll threat, someone that can make life easier for him on the defensive end, I think we could see Luka average 37, 38 points this year. I mean, he's going to go absolutely off. I think that he has a really, really good chance to win the MVP next season. If that would say a lot about where this Laker team is.
Last bit of Lakers Kool-Aid drinking from me, or optimism. If it's an if aggregators, it's DMAC and Reiter on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. If there's an opening in the defenses of the dominance of the Thunder and the Spurs, which is real, if there's another team that can emerge, also just why not the Lakers? The Timberwolves are a hot mess, and they traded away in Cat a few seasons ago, the guy that was obviously a catalyst to an NBA championship. I think Jokic is easily, or at least clearly is the better way to say it, the best player in the NBA, but he's got nobody, absolutely nobody around him. And you sort of like go down the list of teams that are going to be good in the Western Conference. I don't, if there's room to push 1 and 2, I don't think there's a lot of competition from the Lakers face, Doug, if they're properly constructed.
Yeah, and then we're going to figure that out. I do think that Minnesota, though, I mean, I think LaMelo Ball is a really great fit.
Oh, I hate it.
We're going to see if he's a player that can take on that physicality if they make it deep in the playoffs. I think Anthony Edwards is due for another elite season.
He's made, 2 conference finals?
Yeah.
2 and 3 years ago?
Yeah. So, I mean, he's had some experience, too. I mean, I would really only put, I think outside of, I mean, would you have Denver ahead of Minnesota right now? Obviously with the Joker, right?
Yeah, I'm not as high on, look, I actually love Ball's game, but I'm not sure it translates to sort of high-level, competitive, defensively focused playoff basketball, but also just, can he stay healthy, right? I mean, I love the way that he plays. I don't think Minnesota's going to be very good. And I just don't think they're going to be very good defensively. I'm out on Minnesota being a force. Now,
I love the fact that Ball doesn't need to be the best player anymore on his own team, though.
That's a good call, dude. That's interesting.
I personally, I think the way I would say that here's the thing, though. Outside of the Thunder and the Spurs, you could absolutely make the case that the Lakers are in that bucket with the Wolves, with the Nuggets. And that's saying a lot, because once you get there, then you have a real opportunity.
And again, really appreciate the guys having me on the morning show. It was really fun. It was really, I thought, interesting radio. And it's their show, and I was happy to have the conversation they wanted to have. But when Derek made that point, and again, it's a very reasonable one. I have it all the time with GMs, that everybody thinks the Thunder and the Spurs are the team to go through. That's true. He's totally right. I just think sometimes that's my thought too. I just think the conventional wisdom has not actually proven to be true often. So just for Lakers fans, remember, 65-1 was the Spurs' odds to win an NBA championship last year, and they were pretty close. Boston was supposed to be a dominant force. They won 1, and that team has fallen apart. It is a destabilized, much more parity-driven NBA, and so if you're the Lakers and you can just put together the right kind of team, if this thing works this year, next year, the year after, I'm telling you, there's going to be opportunities. DMAC and Reiter on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Puka Nacua is very talented, and he has spoken. But should he get paid? What is the standard for Doug and I to give Puka the money his talent certainly says that it should command? We will answer that next here on DMAC and Reiter. All right, what up? Welcome back into the show. DMAC and Reiter. Doug McCain and Bill Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. Accident or injury, visit calldowntown.com. That is calldowntown.com. Little news here. I'm getting sick, bro. I think I'm allergic to no football.
Well, you're going to be cured pretty soon.
Thank God. Dave Roberts spoke on why Shohei Ohtani is not in the Dodgers lineup tonight, which we told you earlier. Quote, the soreness of the knee yesterday went in there for treatment. It was best to give him a day. Dave says that Shohei wanted to play tonight, Doug, but the Dodgers decided it was not best for Shohei Ohtani.
Interesting. Hey, why not a day? Why not a couple days, maybe a week, maybe a month? Obviously, this is something that they are going to be
I'm so shocked you're agreeing with me. I'm joking.
on. I see that, yeah, but look, there's real soreness there, and I think that the Dodgers realize that, hey, as good as he looks at the plate right now, as important, as bad as that Dodgers lineup, you have to take some steps back as far as the healing process goes. It's great to see him hit tanks out there and get big base hits, but I don't think he's going to get fully close to being 100% unless you rest that thing. I look at the success they've had with Will Smith's injury. The reason why Will Smith was able to come back as quickly as he has as far as going back into baseball activities was because they just shut him down. So I'm not saying they should shut him down for a long stretch, but hey, if Shohei's out of the lineup, that's saying a lot. That's saying that, hey, there's some serious soreness. Not serious, but enough to keep him out of the lineup.
But you and I, look, I think we're aligned. I don't know if you're about to. Anyway, why are you rolling your eyes at me?
I feel like you've just been really slick about just now. You always throw in I wanted Ohtani in there unless he was injured. But now it's
So I just want to understand. Your contention is when we did radio together.
I missed the times when you wanted him to play injured.
Let me just. Okay. Your contention is that when we did radio earlier, like before this, I said I really want Ohtani to play, and if he gets hurt, I want him to play anyway. And if he shouldn't play, I still want him to play. That's not my memory of my take.
Well, I miss the days when you thought that they were faking an injury where it wasn't serious or where it didn't require him to miss any time, and we're just playing so we can win the Cy Young and the MVP and be the unicorn. Yeah.
Now, I want him to win the Cy Young. What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with that. But
okay, good.
There was a time when you want him to play compromised.
No. There was a time when I thought
I have a lot of homework tonight. I'm
there
listen to some
there
more
was a
episodes.
time when I was convinced he wasn't compromised because I trusted the Dodgers because you told me to.
That's fair.
And that as soon as I realized that you were wrong on the Dodgers' level of excellence and they were wrong on managing Shohei, that I needed to adjust my view on Shohei, just like maybe you need to view your sort of level of trust in Andrew Friedman.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, hey, I don't trust everyone. I don't trust everyone. No one is beyond reproach.
I'm Doug. By the way, Lori, earlier I told the story about my wife in Les Orleans, how I tricked Lori, and she wrote the meanest thing she could find. She basically cut and paste the thing that LeBron said about me a year ago.
Oh, no. Wow. She took it there?
I got it. I'm like, why are you writing this me? And she wrote
man.
Les Orleans and then B word. I can't. Lori goes hard sometimes.
Hey, man.
Respect
I like
it.
that.
I respect it.
Love her.
She doesn't misrepresent me, though, like you do.
Am I, though?
Home life better sound than work guy. Person, dude. No, okay. So I hate Ohtani and I wanted to play injured and blah blah blah. But
yes, finally.
But I'm glad. You're unbelievable. Can't you just take victory laps when you have victories?
This is
Why
not
are you
about a
taking
victory
laps
lap.
when you have L's?
This is not about a victory lap.
Oh, everything with you is about a victory lap.
Oh, it's not. Stop.
Okay. Confidence level right now 0 to 100 that the Dodgers will get Skubal.
90.
90.
90.
Okay. I can't remember your take on Puka. I think wasn't it he had a great offseason?
Yeah. Well, come on, man. That was so wrong.
You said yeah. Can we cut that? Can we cut that?
He did not have
Whoa. I don't know if the allegations are real or not.
On the field,
Off-season.
the work that he's had.
Do we have it?
His offseason was very tumultuous. It was filled with some controversial moments.
You loved it, though. I didn't know that.
No, I did not love it.
I thought I just heard it.
This
you know
is
what I'm saying? What's wild?
I'm not endorsing or promoting Puka's offseason. What I am promoting, though, is the presence he's had at Rams camp so far. The way that it looks like from a physicality standpoint, it looks like he's in great shape. The attitude's there. Cut his hair.
I want to play you something from 30 seconds ago. I can't remember your take on Puka. I think, wasn't it he had a great offseason?
Yeah. That was pretty good.
That's dirty business.
That is.
So, what did you call me earlier? A Jedi? Would this make me a Sith? I don't know.
Yeah, you definitely ventured to the dark side.
All right, so Puka was talking to reporters yesterday and explained how he has been addressing his issues over that offseason.
I feel very confident about that. I think continuing some of the things that I was able to establish into my routine, trusting and in closing, I think my circle of trust and allowing the people that I feel like have the inside parts of my life to continue to communicate and trust the people I think who are around me. And I owe a great thank you to my support system, but especially like my family through this time. There have been things that obviously have happened this offseason that haven't been the truest reflection of the person I feel like I am and how my mother raised me, and there's definitely been conversations with her to apologize, but also for her to say that she supports me, and also my brothers are I think my biggest critics as well. So I'm like there were some intense conversations, but loving conversations in order to see improvement.
I mean, as George R.R. Martin wrote, words are wind, but those are impressive words. Like I do like the message here and we're listening here on DMAC and Reiter on the new 97.1, the fan, the voice of LA sports. Here's my question for you. And take it any way you want, but I think we're aligned that obviously this guy is a massively talented dude. And were it not for the off-field worries, concerns, allegations, we don't know what's true, but concerns, maturity concerns, lots of things, you give the guy all the money. You pay that man his money, to quote Rounders. What do you need to see? I know what I need. What do you need and want to feel good if you're the Rams, to get to where you give him the contract that his talent certainly is worthy of?
Obviously, you want to see him put those words into action as far as any type of off-the-field behavior and avoiding that kind of controversy. I think Puka learned that being a star means your actions get magnified, right? That when you become the face of a franchise or one of the faces of a franchise, that all your decisions become magnified in headlines, right, when you're doing the wrong thing. So I think this offseason was a reality check for Puka Nacua. It was an opportunity for him to learn, and sometimes it was the hard way, was in rehab and kind of found the hard way of, hey, when you're in the news for the wrong reasons, it can be tough. And I think that he's committed to football. Sean McVay and this organization still feels like he is going to be a part of their future. And as far as what I need to see...
Yeah, what do you need?
I don't need to see anything else. I'd give him the bag right now, 100%. I don't need to... For me, Puka Nacua is one of the best offensive players in the NFL. He proved that last season. And when you look at him having a great camp the way he has had, he's coming off a season where he led the NFL in 129 catches despite missing a game. So he could set a new franchise record with yards and touchdowns and things like that this season. Look, in the NFL, in a salary cap league, when you have players like Puka Nacua, yes, the franchise tag is an option. The Rams typically don't go that route.
Respect your perspective. I think they should go that route. I see it differently. For me, because... So I don't know what's true or not true with Puka, right? People get accused of things that they've done. People get accused of things that they have not. There are certainly some maturity worries. I do love the fact that he has said that they would not hold out. Obviously, final year of the deal. You referenced the franchise tag. I would not give him the money now, and I would utilize this opportunity to evaluate him longer and further. My belief is, to quote Dr. Laura, since, quoting radio, I think people don't change, or most people don't change. I think people can fake it for a short time. I think you can fake it for training camp or a press conference or talking to reporters or maybe even a month. You can't fake it for a season. So I wouldn't give him the money. And if he's outstanding this year, and if he plays at the level you know that he's going to play at, and more importantly, and I'm the Rams, right? So my Rams view here, I'm evaluating him every single moment. Not just in a football sense, but is this someone I can invest, especially today with all the guaranteed money, this kind of money in? And then I'm giving him a deal. And I'm giving him a deal at the end of the year before he's a free agent because, as you noted, while the Rams often don't franchise tag people, they're often not in a position where they have a talent like this they should pay, but that talent has given them reasons to pause. So I'm using the franchise tag as a threat. Like, he can't become a free agent if they franchise tag him. And I think he wants to be a Ram. So I'm giving him the money if he passes all of the sort of hoops I'm going to make him jump through. And I'm taking the time to evaluate him the entirety of the season. And if and when things go well, then I'll give him the bag.
So here's the thing. I mean, he's a young player. He's a young person, right? And to me, he can change. People do change, right? You can't look at this guy like he's a finished product. He's a young receiver in this league.
I don't mean can't change in the sense I think he's a bad guy. I mean can't change in the sense of I don't know what he is as a good guy or bad guy, and I think you'll know if you're the Rams, pay attention this year.
Yeah,
he
but
might be just a really good immature kid, and that maturity can come.
Well, that's the thing. That's
But maybe
why
he's not.
you don't treat a 25-year-old like you treat a 45-year-old,
But it's
right?
not just the age, right? Like it's those allegations are worries. There's worrisome stuff here.
Look, there's allegations for sure, and yes, that's concerning. There's no doubt about it. But if I'm the Rams too, I look at that as, hey, when would you want to have to make an evaluation on that kind of behavior? You want to do it before you sign into a big contract. Now they kind of know what to look for.
But why now? Why you don't have to do it now?
Because I'll tell you why. I mean, if he starts the season and he goes out against the 49ers and has 250 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns, then you're probably going to have to pay him more. That you can't get him at a discounted rate at all.
There is a franchise tag, and it is part of the CBA. It is part of the contract.
It is, but I mean, that's not.
I don't even know what that pays. $32 million for the year, I think. And then you could transition tag him. And I know those things get ugly and people hold out. I understand but I'm just saying that there are. I think you can say to him and his agent, you put us in the position where we couldn't give you the money we wanted till we were sure about you. So, like, you want to play hardball, then we'll play hardball back.
Here's the thing, though. So, if you do franchise tag, which is close to $32 million, it's $31.5 million.
Okay.
You can't spread that out over multiple seasons, and you have to basically use all of that for 2027. So, you've got too many free agents to do that, right? The Rams need to.
He's also motivated not to be franchise tag. So for me, it's a leverage play.
Yeah,
I think you have. I guess what I'm saying is, I don't think his ability to just walk out the door and make all the money is quite as strong as.
But here's the thing, though. If you would franchise tag him, Bill, you would basically be spending $31 million in cap space, all for Puka Nacua, all for 2027.
It's a game of chicken. What if you pay him a bunch of money, you guarantee him I know we have to go $100 million, and it turns out that these red flags were trying to warn you of something much, the iceberg goes much deeper into the water than you thought. And all of a sudden ask the Niners what that can be like.
That's why you got to trust the organization, right? You got to trust Sean McVay. You got to trust Les Snead. I mean, just look at the Kyle Tucker signing. It didn't work out so far. Puka Nacua is different because he's a premier receiver. He has been banged up at times. But this guy is a big part of this franchise, a big part of your culture. Look, the truth is, if you go and get a deal,
part of your culture. I hope the culture is a big
guys
part
can
of
change.
shaping
So,
him.
so
that's different than he's a big part of the culture.
He is an absolute massive part of the identity of how the Rams have gone about it. I mean,
how they play football. But, I hope that doesn't reflect their culture.
You can make a case he had a better year last year than Jackson Smith and Jigba. You can make a case with how physical he is. But that is culture, though. When you see a receiver play the position that way, that rubs off on a Kyron Williams. That rubs off on the entire team.
So is the off-the-field
attitude
stuff.
Well, I mean,
that's part of a culture.
I mean, hey, I just I watched the Dallas Cowboys thing about Michael Irving and the White House and the culture that the Cowboys were. They still won 3 Super Bowls. There were tons of red flags out there.
Oh my God! All right, Mike, you're going all the way back.
I'm just saying.
Do you have an example from the last 20 years?
Puka Nacua would not be the first example of a guy that got paid.
Once a generation, it can work. Is that what you're saying?
I think, first of all, I believe in Puka Nacua, the character. I don't think that this is who he is. I think that he's going to learn from this tumultuous offseason. And I think
that's why we're on different timelines.
You look at this from a business standpoint, this would be the time to lock him up. You would save in the long term. You wouldn't have to franchise tag him. Puka Nacua is a big part of your future, and I think that the Rams are going to give him the bag eventually.
I can't remember. Was it possible to give Michael Irving $120 million guaranteed back in the 90s? I'm not sure. I'm trying to get my mind around it. Different time, dude. Guaranteed money's massive now.
Yeah, I think his career, off the top of my head, was $16.5 million or something, but different.
You know what I'm saying? No, that's not. It's just the.
But that's my point. My point, though, is that look, there's a lot to separate here for sure. But I think it's in the Rams' best interest with how their roster build has gone and who they have to pay to give Puka Nacua the bag, despite any questions you might have with his off the field antics and allegations this offseason.
It is DMAC and
Team Puka.
It is DMAC and Reiter. I'm looking forward to Puka having a really good game, and Doug pointing out to you erroneously, dear listener, that I hate him and thought he shouldn't play. We got some LeBron James news, and I'm not sure it's good for Philly. It's next here on DMAC and Reiter. All right, welcome back into the show. DMAC and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, visit calldowntown.com. That is calldowntown.com. It is time for Hardwood Headlines. It's going to be a quick Hardwood Headlines.
Don't lie.
What's up, Marsh?
Time for Hardwood Headlines.
That's right.
With DMAC and Reiter.
That's right. This is Hardwood Headlines. Hey, listen, LeBron James is reportedly close to a deal with ESPN to produce a documentary series similar to The Last Dance.
Yeah, I've no interest. The best point I saw on this was, dude, The Last Dance was amazing because it was 2 decades later or whatever, 3.
That's the thing, too. I mean, where are the interesting stories in this? So, look, it's LeBron James. You're going to glorify it. But think about The Last Dance. There was just so much drama, right? I mean, there's the things that happened all throughout his career. They have the timeline. Look, I'm sure the LeBron fans, the LeBron stans are going to love this. But we'll see how it finishes up.
I'm not sure it's going to be good for the Sixers, though. Like, that's a whole other... Can you imagine?
Here's the thing, too. It's like, bro, first it was Space Jam 2. Now it's The Last Dance 2. It's like the dude's trying to do everything like Michael Jordan. He's skipping the part where he wins 6 championships.
Oh, boy. That was good.
Sorry.
But never be sorry.
Man, LeBron sparks controversy.
Never apologize to me.
LeBron sparks good
Except
controversy.
when you wrong me all the time.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Kawhi Leonard owes an apology. I mean, he owes plenty. Pablo Torre has uncovered a potential second secret side deal involving Kawhi Leonard and his reported investment in Rhode Island FC. Torre claims Rhode Island Governor Dan McKee built a stadium with public money for a soccer team part owned by Kawhi Leonard.
I mean, I just can't even. On the Kawhi, the thing about Kawhi is he isn't even any good anymore. It's.
Yeah, this is just, it feels like it never ends. It feels like there's always something else. It feels like there's another thing to make him feel even shadier.
Can we just close the investigation so we can go to Toronto and be their problem?
Yeah, I mean, that feels like that's what they want, right? But
yes.
Yeah, I mean, a soccer team part owned by, I mean, there's just so much. Rhode Island Governor Dan McKee.
The main takeaway, Pablo Torre is a baller, dude. He is so good at his job.
Yeah, he's been cooking.
You're cooking.
Hey, guys, according to reporting from Kobe Price of the California Post, the Lakers and Jonathan Kuminga have not communicated in recent days.
Man. Good. Good. Like, I think I said this yesterday. I'm worried that his lack of comprehension about what he is worth could make him a bit of a malcontent if he comes in. You're going to have to, if you're the Lakers, vibes are going to be important as this team tries to gel. It's a whole new group of guys. And so I'm out on Kuminga, dude. That's what I'm saying to you.
Yeah, he had all the leverage, and the leverage started to go away. I will say I am still in on him because I still think there's something there. And could he be toxic? I think there's a possibility, but give me the mystery box, right? I kind of want the mystery box of Jonathan Kuminga, and I'm still willing to see if there's a possibility to add the Lakers. But yeah, he does definitely have the ego. The agent probably should be fired, but no communication. Hopefully, from my end, Lakers fans that want to see him, this is quiet before the storm.
And last one here. According to Logan Murdoch, the Warriors decided not to trade for Jaylen Brown because they felt he wouldn't be able to carry the franchise after Steph Curry retires.
I'm a Jaylen Brown guy. I don't get this. And so the alternative, and maybe they're right and I'm wrong, the alternative, Doug, is a total teardown because if you don't have there's no one on that team that can, there is no sort of carry the team forward guy now.
And the thing, too, is...
I like Jaylen Brown.
I do, too. I mean, I think he went to Cal, which is great. That's a nice little fit for sure, but...
That's why he can carry the Warriors?
No, I'm just saying, like, you could see, like, if I was a Warriors fan, I would talk myself into it for some other deeper connections, but I'm sort of with the Warriors. I think that he's a really, really good player.
That guy he was at Berkeley. Wow.
Hey, that's where you were at, right?
I was just there.
But, yeah, I'm kind of siding with the Warriors on this one. I really am.
All right. You're the man. You know what I'm saying?
That's all you, baby.
No, you're the guy. You're my goat. You know what I'm saying? Picking up what I'm putting down?
I am.
We are going to preview tonight's Dodgers game, and we have an interesting bit of perspective from Katie Wu next here on DMAC and Reiter. All right. Welcome back into the show. Doug McCain. That's you, Bill Reiter. That's me. Makes it DMAC and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222. Dodgers first pitch 2 hours and change from now. We have talked about the fact that Shohei Ohtani is not in the lineup tonight, and we read you some quotes. Dave Roberts. I didn't catch that.
Sorry.
No, I want it again.
Tonight.
Tonight.
Can't go back. Oh, there you go.
I shouldn't do that because my throat hurts. Now more. Here is actually, you can now listen. Thank you to Ryan Bershinger here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports, the executive producer, for snagging this. Here's Dave Roberts talking just a few moments ago about why Ohtani is not in the lineup today.
This is more of just the soreness of the knee. Yesterday, went in there for some treatment, and then so I think that talking to the training staff, it was just best to let's just give a day, swing the bat really well, but just so it again doesn't turn into something that it shouldn't, that we can prevent. That's kind of the thought. Going into yesterday, I expect him to play today, but then I appreciate him saying that there's some soreness to then allow me to make a decision what is in his best interest, and that's what we're doing.
Obviously, the Ohtani thing is a giant, significant story, and we spent a lot of time talking about this earlier today and yesterday. And we had Katie Wu on, the outstanding beat writer for The Athletic, who you got on the show. Great job. She was really, really great. And one of the things that she talked about was this very topic. There's Dave Roberts again. Hey, Dave. It's okay. Dave is such a fan of the show that he just like talks over us. He's like calls in like, hey, it's me. I'm talking about Ohtani.
That was just my head going and just
I did
having
too.
Dave Roberts throughout the years.
And you're just in your brain?
Yeah.
So Katie Wu was on the show yesterday and gave this breakdown after you asked her if Ohtani maybe should get some time on the actual IL.
It's fair. It's valid. I asked Shohei yesterday if he would consider taking a couple of days off just to reset his whole body now that we know the bicep is also kind of a factor in there. And he said through Will Ireton, of course, that he looked at the All-Star break as his chance to do that. And he said through Dave Roberts, he said last night, that he doesn't feel like these injuries are impacting his swing. Now, do the Dodgers have more than a comfortable enough lead in the division to rest Ohtani for a couple days? Maybe not an IL stint. I understand they probably don't want to play short for a couple days. But just to give him a blow, yeah, absolutely. But it's also on the player, too. And if Shohei says, Dave, I'm going to play, I can play. If I'm Dave Roberts, I'm having a really hard time saying no to that. So it's valid. I think that might be best served right now, given where we are in the schedule, given the division standings, given that Shohei there's no timetable for when he could start pitching again. And they don't really need him on July 29th to be at full strength. They do need him to be at full strength come September 29th. So valid. I would tend to agree that it wouldn't hurt to give him a couple days off, but that doesn't seem to be in the Dodgers' plans, at least for now.
I'm going to say it again, man. She was out. She was really, really good. So this feels, hopefully it is, just normal maintenance for a guy who's banged up, but hopefully not significantly injured, at least as it relates to his bat. Obviously, the pitching remains a question mark.
Yeah, I mean, we asked for a day off, and we get the day off. And hopefully they manage this like this for the remainder of the season. Little show load management down the stretch. Our friend of the show, Dylan Hernandez, he tweeted out about an hour ago, Ohtani wanted to play tonight. Dave Roberts said decision to sit him was the team's. So interesting, because I remember a couple conversations that we had, and it was,
where you
I'm sure I'll tell him going.
I'm excited.
I said that it was always, Shohei does what Shohei wants. If he says jump, the Dodgers say how high. And if he wants to be in the lineup, he's going to be in the lineup.
And then you came around and buckled and agreed with me like for 4 weeks in a row on that.
Never.
No,
What?
yeah, yes.
What?
I think so.
Are you okay? That is just completely not true.
You buckled,
That's
bro.
completely not true.
People were calling you the buckler.
Oh, they did not call me the buckler.
People were bringing belts in.
The truth is that I think this proves what he talked about.
It's not true at all.
The buckler. I mean, this proves, though, that it is Shohei Ohtani. It is the greatest player ever. It is Superman in baseball cleats. It is baseball Jesus. And I hate when I say that. But
no, I love it, man.
And
I don't
even being Shohei Ohtani, though, the team realizes that, hey, you got to save him from himself. And there's a couple times this last couple of weeks where he's stretched singles into doubles and doubles into triples. So this keeps him off the base pass where he might continue to make that knee a little more sore.
You cannot keep calling him baseball Jesus, and then every time a crow makes a sound, deny him. Okay,
Well,
pick your lane and pick your reference. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Judas.
Okay,
I mean, come on, man.
Look, I mean, like I said, this
He's
is
more. It's fine. He's more for you, baseball's John the Baptist.
there. It is.
That was cool.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, what's in play here, though, big picture, is do these day offs lead to 1 day off here turns into 2 days off? Does 2 days off lead to a potential IL stint?
So you can't misrepresent me. I have said that I think
I'm not
there's
misrepresenting.
no
I'm not saying you're saying
reason-
anything.
Sorry, let me say that. So you can't misrepresent me again. I'll just
misrepresent you all I want.
Say it with your chest. I like that you do it. By the way, turnabout's fair play. It is totally reasonable for you to do that. I'm just gonna also correct you when you go that direction, which is lovely and wonderful. I would shut him down plus 5 days. Like there is no reason. There is no reason to play him if there is even a lingering at this point. Was that the case in June? No, man, it wasn't for me. Things change. What did somebody... Oh, it's Katie Wu said this to you, and you tried to basically correct her here on DMAC and Reiter about the Skubal reporting. You did. You basically were like, hey, you said that they weren't going to go after Skubal, and you were wrong, but now...
Oh, I was being...
You tried to be nice. But by the way, thing, she heard it, though, so here's what she said to you. Thank you, Doug. That's a great question. As information changes, so does the reporting. So let me quote Katie Wu to you, baseball Jesus, St. John the Baptist, or whatever.
Did the information change? I don't know if it did.
As the reality and the information changes, so too will my take, my perspective, my opinion. I can only give you what I think based on what we know in the moment, and what we know right now about Shohei Ohtani is that he's banged up and that you were wrong to trust the Dodgers to manage him perfectly. And so was I.
This is so insane to me on so many different levels, because basically what you're saying is you're basically having my take that I've had for 2 months, and you're flipping it as if you're now the voice of reason, now that you're the one who wants to wrap him in bubble wrap and give him some time on the show.
You know
right?
that there's like, so the comparison I keep using for us is there's helicopter parents, right? You, and there's non-helicopter parents, me. I grew up in a generation, I think like you did, you're a little younger than me, where my parents weren't helicopter parents. We did our thing. But when we stumbled and fell and hurt ourselves, they still took us to the doctor, right? I still got the cast. And so I am not a helicopter parent just because having seen Shohei actually fall, something he's been screaming about for 3 months, he's going to fall, he's going to fall, he's going to hurt himself, he's going to hurt himself. Now that he's a little banged up, yeah, let's set him down, let's get him right. I don't think I think it's the voice of reason. I just don't think were the voice of reason.
The part that you always omit is the fact that he dealt with bicep stuff earlier in the year. We've had knowledge of the knee throughout this summer.
You never called for him to stop pitching. You called for him to pitch less.
Exactly.
Okay.
And also,
and he got hurt.
Going IL a couple weeks ago. But the thing is,
then he got hurt. What's the?
But the thing is that I was telling you this entire time that I felt like this was something that was real, and you were telling me he was fine. No, you told me a million. If I had $1 for every time you told me Shohei Ohtani was fine, I'd be a billionaire right now.
You're the one that calls him Superman. I'm not the one who
Superman has a cold.
I'm not the one who said he was indestructible. I simply said for however long Shohei Ohtani, the actual human being who is capable like everyone of getting injured, however long I think he's healthy, based on what I know and how the Dodgers manage him, I want him out there. And the minute I realized that he wasn't right, and frankly, I think the Dodgers probably have used his bat at times where maybe they just sit him, now I want him to sit. It's not a change, in my view. It's a change in what's going on with Shohei Ohtani.
You're sitting here and pretending like you didn't say in the last series of the first half when the All-Star break was upon us that, he's totally fine because he's in the lineup and that this is something so the Dodgers can show the commissioner so they don't have to send him to the All-Star break.
Yes, you're totally right. What was the
You said he was fine. You said he had nothing wrong with him.
What was the reason I cited you that I was sure that was the case?
That he was in lineup.
Yeah. And what was the reason that was the connection? Because...
And I sat here and said I still felt like there was a concern.
And then I said, wow, man, then the Dodgers are not managing this guy effectively. And they weren't. You're right that I shouldn't have trusted you that the Dodgers are perfect.
No, I'm right. I'm right because his injury has been real and that they have been recklessly playing him through it for longer stretches now.
You told me they weren't being reckless.
And that Shohei Ohtani has wanted to play. And I think the things that have changed is where the Dodgers saying, hey, we've done it your way for a while. I think the Dodgers are saying, we're going to do it our way now because we're protecting October and not July.
He literally just came out. Was that yesterday or Tuesday? And said that he was hurt. He told the media what's going on. So this idea that they've sat him kicking and screaming, okay, maybe, sure. But again, which argument do you want to have?
Well, you used to always say, okay, you
want to have
your argument used to be, because he's still productive, he's fine, right? What was Kirk Gibson fine when he hit the walk? Wait, what? You didn't say for so many shows that, okay, if he's out there actually having success at the plate, that just means he has at least a clean enough bill of health to be in the lineup, and that it's not something that could hurt.
Let me tell you what I said. What I said was, if it is as dire as you say it is, Doug, if he really can't.
Well, I didn't say dire.
If he really can't play in the All-Star game, if he's really so banged up that the helicopter parents of the Doug McCains of the world have to run to him, then why are they playing him was it the Rockies? I can't remember. In a meaningless 3-game series just before the All-Star game. And I said to you, Doug, and I think you agreed, so if it turns out the Dodgers are actually mismanaging him this poorly, then I will be wrong. But I can't imagine the Dodgers would make this mistake. But they did. So
this switch-up is crazy.
Shame on me for trusting the Dodgers.
Yeah,
to be perfect. By the way, the Dodgers are really well run. It's just, you know what the moral for me here, unbelievable. The moral for me here on DMAC and Reiter on the new 97.1 the voice of LA Sports, is that being the best at baseball, and you are right, you say that all the time, doesn't make them infallible.
Yeah, it doesn't. They're not beyond reproach, for sure.
And a good comp for that is me. I'm right a lot here, but I'm not infallible. I was wrong in trusting the Dodgers, and I think it's awesome. And
also,
I think it's cute how much you like it. Like this one, like, get him, get Bill. That's fine. Have it.
No, can't you also too admit that? Hey, maybe Shohei Ohtani does not call every single shot within the Dodgers, and that Dave Roberts in the organization.
That's a different conversation, right? You want to have that one now?
Absolutely.
On DMAC and Reiter, I think
I'm proud of the Dodgers.
Oh, okay. Okay, do you want to pander for like 30 seconds first, and then we can?
I'll say more like a minute, but I'll do 30.
That's a pander, dude. You're proud of the Dodgers. No one's saying, isn't that a straw man argument? I'm not saying that like I'm not proud of the Dodgers. What I am saying is that I do think that Ohtani throws his weight around. I do think he has massive leverage. I do think he uses it. This is not me going on. This is not me going on some crazy island here. And my educated guess, and I could be wrong. I'm happy to admit I'm wrong. Less so than I used to be because you just are so excited about it and then miss. But anyway, is that I think Shohei probably is much more able to throw his weight around when he's clearly healthy. And I think as actual injuries mount and he can't hide those, or they're just not, that's a real thing, it gives the Dodgers a little more hair on their chest, a little more strength, a little more courage, a little more just, maybe it's just like, okay, we have to put our foot down with Shohei. So to answer your question, I still think Shohei absolutely throws his weight around, but there must be a threshold where the Dodgers go, and we've hit it. Yeah, get it, but not this time.
That's very different than what you said in the last couple of months. But I will say this, though.
Yeah?
I think it's clear that after he missed that start,
he looks so happy.
You looked at the numbers for the ERA last 4 starts over 4. The batting average, he hasn't been an MVP bat. He hasn't been a Cy Young level pitcher. I think that there was a stretch of time when Shohei Ohtani was absolutely gunning for the Cy Young. Absolutely gunning for another MVP.
For sure.
Right? And
I loved it. I was here for it.
It was great. I loved every single pitch.
If I'm an idiot, if I'm wrong.
Wait, who cut?
Yeah, hold on. If I don't know ball, if I owe everybody an apology, then Shohei is he's not the baseball Jesus. He's the baseball other guy, because Shohei's the one that was pushing all this. You think you're arguing with me and criticizing me, you're going after Shohei Ohtani, which is fine. You can do that, but just understand where your arrows are actually directed at.
My arrows are directed at the truth. And the truth is, I think that this Dodgers organization, there must have been something as far as the communication behind the scenes, whereas even Katie Woo in the answer we just listened to said that, hey, if Shohei wants to play, that's going to be a tough conversation. And Dylan Hernandez tweeting right now, Shohei Ohtani wanted to play today. I think the Dodgers, at some point in the last couple of weeks, put their foot down and said, hey, we don't feel like this makes a lot of sense.
Can you read me the exact report?
From Dylan Hernandez?
Yeah, because having covered this stuff like you have, I'm also well aware that Shohei wanting to play today is not the same thing as Shohei demanded he played, and they said,
I'm not saying
no.
he demanded to play. I'm not saying that Shohei demanded and put his fist down. Shohei wants to play. He's still raking. He's been great the last couple of days.
How do you know Shohei? I mean, I don't know this, but since you want to get into the sort of semantics, well, how do you know Shohei didn't want to play, but didn't just say, I want to play, but I'm not going to play, even though I want to be safe? How do you know that this is proof that
Did
suddenly they
Shohei
want
want to
Shohei?
play tonight? That means the answer is yes.
Shohei wants
Did they
to
tell
play
him
every
no?
night.
They probably told him. Dylan Hernandez said it was a team decision. It was a team decision. So that means that Shohei Ohtani is not in there because the Dodgers realize, as great as Shohei Ohtani is, one employee isn't bigger than the entire company. And the Dodgers are one of the few organizations and teams that are going to be able to even tell someone as great as Shohei Ohtani that, hey, you should not play tonight because it's potentially detrimental to your health, which would all but end any chance we have at winning a three-peat. So I think the Dodgers are really proving to everyone out there that they're not going to let any type of in-season accolades, awards, or a player that wants to play, even if it's Shohei Ohtani, get in between the greater goal. And I think, too, they're kind of saving Shohei from himself, right? Because Shohei is the greatest to ever do it, and part of the reason why he's the greatest to ever do it is because he's done the impossible, right? No one has pitched and hit at this level for this long.
That's a great point. Here on DMAC and Reiter. I loved every. You know what? I was going to say something. This is real friendship for me, right? Did you hear me? I went, and then I was like, no, bring it back.
I dare you. Bring it.
Only if you double, triple dare me.
Let's go.
Without your fingers crossed.
I mean, look, things
I will
have-
just say that you have a habit sometimes, occasionally, and I love this habit. It's
of being right?
It's great. That's not the habit. No. You have a habit sometimes of like, Shohei, and then you give your Shohei a take, right? Nuance, great. Not necessarily entirely positive to Shohei, and then you feel the need to do 90 seconds of Shohei's the greatest player of all time.
Okay.
I'm also aware that Shohei is amazing. I'm also aware that he hits and he pitches. I'm also aware that he's like a great guy. I got it. What does that have to do with the price of tea in China right now? I mean, what?
Because I think it contextualizes how significant it is that the Dodgers can put their foot down.
Did you know that Matt Stafford's won an MVP? I know. I got. Like, what does it have to do with? You know what I'm saying? I know, dude. Anyway, yeah, that's what I was. But I wasn't gonna say. But you said say double. But you dared me. That's what I was thinking.
And I'll explain to you.
In my heart.
And I'll explain to you because he has done the impossible. He has gone through those uncharted waters.
Yeah.
So the Dodgers are really doing the same thing, and they're telling a guy that is always going to think he can play that maybe you should not play right now. And I think that they really should consider taking it a step further and give him some additional rest.
Fair. I mean, look, I think, and I don't know that give enough credence to Shohei for this. Shohei has made there are some talents in the world. There are some actors. There are some media people that I've known, very few generational success stories in any endeavor who defy the odds, right? Who defy the rules, who succeed in a way where people say that's not possible, and then change that industry. It's very hard for them to know the boundaries that are good or bad for them because their entire lives and careers they've been told you're going too far, and it was people trying to stop them from their greatness, if that makes sense. And so I understand where it's hard for everybody, to your point, because for Shohei, all he's been told, certainly when he came to Major League Baseball by most of the teams, not the Angels, you can't pitch, you can't hit, you can't do both. I've heard you say that. Like, that's a thing that Shohei's heard because it's a reasonable thing to say, right? It's reasonable to say that you can't fly, human being, only Superman can, right? So it's tricky when you do actually get to a place where you start to not know if the boundaries are actually good for you or limitations set by people who don't understand that the rules don't apply to you. And that's hard for the Dodgers too. How do you know where Shohei's uniqueness sort of ends and real risk begins? And I do understand that nuance. And it's hard for me to grapple with, as you have tried to exploit in this sort of blame game. And I like that. It's hard for you to grapple with. I'm also probably played off that a little bit. It's an interesting side effect of the Ohtani reality. And you said it's uncharted. And I just want to say from Shohei's perspective, and I think why he throws his weight around, when you are used to everyone telling you you're going to fail when you do A, and every time you do A, you succeed, when someone tells you you're going to fail or hurt yourself for the right reasons, it's hard to tell the difference.
I agree with that. I mean, I absolutely do. I think that you don't protect Shohei because he's fragile, right? Or you think he is. You protect him because you think he's irreplaceable, and that's the thing that the Dodgers have come to grips with.
That's really smart, dude.
Is with Shohei and where he is at in his career. This is a guy that doesn't need to prove he's tough. He doesn't need to prove that he can play through injuries. He's done that this entire season.
Well, and I think we agree. He also just loves to play.
I agree. He's routine based.
Yeah, he wants to be out there. Obviously.
He will never probably admit this publicly, but I think that he probably can get a sense that he has not locked up the MVP too, which I definitely want to see him win. We did that list a couple weeks ago. where he's the unanimous GOAT, and I think winning unanimous MVPs and winning a fifth one would just continue to take him up that ladder for sure. But look, we're trade deadline era, right? I mean, we're trade deadline part of the season, and I think the last thing that the Dodgers would want out there as far as a leverage play goes to the Detroit Tigers is, oh, wait, you're Shohei Ohtani. He's not pitching right now. He's okay? So that's less leverage the Dodgers have at the trade deadline too. So I do think that there's something here, and I hope that the Dodgers continue to do whatever the smart thing is as far as planning those days off, giving him those off days after the Dodgers play when they don't have a scheduled game. So look, it's all about October. It's been a great season so far, and this is someone that is truly a one-of-one unicorn player that we just want to see for as long as we can.
One of the things that's great about Sports Talk Radio in this town and this topic here on DMAC and Reiter, frankly, like doing the show with you and sparring with you, and maybe to whatever degree you have to spar with me, is that and dude, I've told you, you're a very smart guy, you're a clever guy, you're good at this. I've been in this business a while. I like it too. I dig. What's the line from The Big Lebowski? I dig your move. I dig your moves, dude. Is that you and I are going to look for and lurch toward the moments where we're right. I knew it. The fact is that over the course of a season, Major League Baseball season, whatever Friedman's sort of reality, whatever Dave Roberts' reality, whatever Ohtani, sometimes each of those guys are going to get it right. Sometimes each of those guys are going to get it wrong. And it's hard to sort of know what is what. And there's so much nuance in all of this stuff. That's true for trying to figure out Dalton Rushing and how do you get Kyle Tucker to be right and show up at his blocker, and how do you make the bullpen work while some of these guys are out, and what do you do with Glasnow and Snell and all. But with Ohtani, it's almost like that difficulty, but the difference between chess or checkers and chess. And so it's part of why I love doing the show with you, because this stuff is really complicated, and it's complicated for the people that are doing it, the Dodgers, sort of the players and the personnel in Ohtani, and it has such crazy stakes. And I like this dance, man. I like trying to figure it out, because I don't think we know the right answer every day, and certainly I'm not even sure Ohtani and Friedman and Roberts and everybody else know. They're doing the best they can. That doesn't mean they're always getting it right.
That's one thing that's 100% true, and for sure, just because, hey, if you're the Dodgers out there when it comes to managing a player like Shohei Ohtani, who else do you look at? That's right. There's no one, right? Have they been managed Babe Ruth for that one season, 1915, right? There really is no case study on Shohei Ohtani. It's always going to be fluid how to manage this guy. But here's the thing. I mean, the star that shines the brightest also burns out the fastest. And I just want to make sure that Shohei Ohtani can be sustained as long as humanly possible.
Is that true? The physics of that true, or does it just sound good?
I think I'm not really sure.
Okay. So it's not, because he's not a star, but maybe it's not even true for stars, but it sounds really good.
He burns.
So David Horse 800 has a really interesting perspective over on the chat. Give it to him. At the Fan LA, And this will speak to sort of my poor Bursch. I'm just like, I become you. Like, clock? What clock? Roads? Where we're going, we don't need clocks. Where we're going, we don't need clocks. So I will read David Horse 800's perspective, and it's radical, and it's going to sound like I'm doing a 180, but I can get radical. So a radical view of Ohtani as we keep this conversation going and get to some of your mailbag. We'll make this part of the mailbag, so jump in the chat if you want to do that. Next on DMAC and Reiter. What up? Welcome back into the show. DMAC and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. Accident or injury, text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222. You want to do a little mailbag? Here, okay, so I know you're going to miss. You know what? I'm not going to. Are you I love the TV show Justified. I'm a big believer that there's the best TV shows of all time, right? We can do those lists, and there's also my favorite, and those often overlap. I would never put Justified on my top 10 TV shows of all time, but it is my favorite TV show of all time, or one of them. I love it. There's a great line where he's in have you seen it?
No, I've not.
Oh, okay, never mind. Anyway, it's about positive thinking. I'm just going to assume we're going to have...
I listened to the Justified album.
Was it good?
Justin Timberlake's?
No. Okay, so this is from David Horse 800. Just shut down Ohtani for the rest of the season so his knee can heal for the playoffs. Dodgers have big lead in NL West. Okay, sounds... So here's the thing. Now, not the whole season because you want him to be sort of sharp and ready to go and performing at a high level. Now that he can't win the Cy Young Award, and now that maybe and I don't need the MVP the way that you do. I think his GOAT. Sure, not the whole season, but I'd shut him down for August. I will, because that, you always talk about, and I love this here on DMAC and Reiter, the luxury the Dodgers have. You brought it up earlier today in a really great way I'm on Glass Now or something. This is a crazy luxury, but a luxury is you're the Dodgers. You can just shut Shohei down. You can basically Anthony Davis him. Lakers don't win that 2020 championship. If COVID doesn't happen and Anthony Davis doesn't get months off, Shohei Ohtani's not AD, but you give him a month, man, maybe he could be right.
Dude, you would have to get the Avengers to keep Shohei off the field, to keep him out of the lineup.
You just told me that he doesn't throw his weight around. You just told me they're in charge.
I know, but for the rest of the season,
you don't need the Avengers.
We're getting to extremes here. I think
I am.
So a couple of things here. I see you're jotting something down. A couple of things here as far as should Shohei Ohtani rest for the entire season. The answer to that, I think, is no, for the simple fact that for August, that's an entire month. That's an entire month of action.
Time out. Shohei, time out. All of August is a month? Sorry, I'm just being mean.
What?
You look at me and you're like, that's a, here's the thing, Bill. Why your opinion's wrong is all of August is a month. I was like, oh, okay. I surrender.
Shohei Ohtani is so important to this lineup. He's so important to this lineup that if you would sit him for an entire month, you could lose an entire lead in the division. Like, he's that important to this lineup.
I don't know about that, dude.
They almost blew an 8.5-game lead to the Padres this time last year, and that was with Shohei Ohtani there.
The past is not always... well, then maybe if they sit him, it'll work out based on that logic. I mean, come on. The past is not always prelude to what's happening now.
Okay, so, obviously, but here's the thing, though. Shohei Ohtani wants to be in a rhythm, and you take him out for a month.
Okay.
You basically are saying he's not going to be making key postseason starts for you. He's not going to be used on the mound in any capacity. So you're going to want to make sure you're taking advantage of Shohei Ohtani, the pitcher. I think that the sweet spot, if there's anything lingering, you start with a 10-day IL stint, if anything, and you take it from there. But to shut him down for an extended period of time, that would be a lot. Hey, ask all those Japanese sponsors what that would mean. Ask the Uniqlo field at Dodger Stadium what that would mean.
I'm with you. The Dodgers should predicate their ability to win a third World Series first and foremost on what the Japanese sponsors want.
I'm just telling people what they things that would come up behind the scenes.
Okay.
I mean, if he was really injured,
too bad.
Sure, but look. The thing is, this team needs
him.
You're
the one that said all that matters is October. You've told me that every day on the show.
But there's still work to be done in August and September.
I don't want to make. I don't want to make Nissan mad.
There's still work to be done in August and September. This Dodgers team.
Now you're doing the flip 180.
I am not.
Now you're doing.
You guys
both
are
sides
saying.
Of your mouth.
Wait a second. I am saying
all
that
matters is October. He's got to play in August. Sponsors could get mad. I mean, that's what you just said.
That was like the fifth point of something I mentioned with him, as far as rhythm and this team needing to win games and them needing to win this division.
It was the worst point.
No, it is something that would surface. Like, it would be shock to the system. Of course, it's not a reason why you would play a player or not.
Don't worry, it's more important that you get your sponsorships rocking in October.
But here's the thing. At some point, you make someone the performance is going to dip because Shohei Ohtani's a kind of a slower starter sometimes, right?
Well, that's why I said, give him September to kind of ramp back up.
But September's not really enough. And we talk about June Ohtani, right? That's his best month. It's March, April, May, 1 month. Yeah, that's an extreme thing. And I think too, you have to finish with one of those top seeds in the West.
Can I read this poll to you?
In the West, what?
Can I read you a poll?
Yeah.
Okay. You wrote pen on your nose, by the way, an accident.
Did I really?
I should have told you earlier. But here's the reason I'm telling you. Real friends tell each other. Like I once was like out with some people. I'd be like, and I went home and I had the biggest piece of lettuce I've ever seen in the teeth, and no one told me. And I'd eaten a salad an hour earlier.
Oh man.
Yeah. I mean, I was basically a walking lettuce bag. So I want to let you know. You know what I'm saying?
Let us alone.
You're pretty funny. Should Ohtani? Here's the poll that Sammy put up. Thank you, Sammy. Great work. Should Ohtani be pulled off the field completely? Poll is ongoing, but so far, the yes votes, 77% of your listeners.
Completely meaning what? Just meaning no hitting and no pitching for a duration?
Completely, as I understand it. Like August is a month?
I mean,
completely
completely for 10 days, completely for a month, completely for the rest of the season. I mean, that's pretty vague there.
Now, this other guy has a great point. DMAC is better than me. I would not be able to work with this guy, LOL.
So that
yeah, it's funny.
I think I know what that was.
Well, in
Get some
related
burners
news, you're not hired. But we really appreciate you listening at the Fan LA. No, I understand. I understand what you're saying. I really do. And I'm being a little tongue in cheek. But I guess my point is I've gone from once the Cy Young Award went away, and now that the Dodgers have built I don't know where we're at, 11.5, 12.5 game lead. I'm okay with a lot more Ohtani sitting. A lot more. And you're right. And I'm not on this. You're right. You don't sit him but if he can, I don't know, but if he can stay in rhythm, sitting on like load managing basically, I'm here for it.
Yeah. I mean, that's something that I just don't think that I just don't think they go down that road unless there's something that's very serious. I think that you got to take it one game at a time as far as the sitting goes, see how he responds to it. And we'll see how well that injection took. I mean, he didn't get the knee drained, but he got the injection. Sometimes it takes a little longer for it to respond. So maybe when it does respond the way they want, that you're going to start to see the results. And for Shohei to not play, it's a lot. It really is a lot. I mean, and I think that they're on the same page, even if maybe Shohei wants to play and they're telling him that this is probably not the best decision to do this today. But, guys, for everyone out there that thinks that the division's wrapped up, yes, they have a very sizable lead. We've seen crazier things happen. We saw that 2017 Dodgers team that won 104 games. They lost 11 straight. They lost 15 of 16.
The counterpoint is, dude, if you can't hold a 12-game lead without this, it's not as if this is...
He's the MVP, the most valuable player.
They're not the Denver Nuggets, okay? It's a baseball team, and there's a lot of talented guys in this team, and Kyle Tucker's playing great. That last part's a joke. This baseball coverage on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports, is presented by Xfinity. Score the most reliable Wi-Fi, one price, 5 years guaranteed. Xfinity, imagine that. There are some comments, there are some thoughts. Mailbag time. You want to rock this?
Let's hit it.
Mailbag. The Rams down 4 simply says, trade Tucker.
Trade Tucker.
Yeah.
You would need to find a trade partner, and that was the issue there. So you're not going to be seeing a lot of teams saying, I don't think there's teams lining up saying, hey, where can we get that below-average bat that's getting paid $60 million a year, right? So there's not a lot of teams that I think would want to trade for Tucker. So and when you sign a guy to that kind of contract, even though it is on a shorter term than most guys would get for those stats and for his numbers at his age, you just got to hope that he really turns things around.
Robert Wallace 490, who, by the way,
Robert Wallace?
I don't know if Robert saw this, and I hope he did, but Robert, you won the Hero of the Day on Monday, I think?
Yeah, I think it was Monday.
The days of the week are kind of, it's been a long week, but we love you, we appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out with us on the chat at the Fan LA. At the Fan LA, if you knew, you knew. If you didn't, you deserve to know because you were the Hero of the Day. And we'll give the announcement on today's Hero of the Day in a little bit. But Robert's question, do the Brewers have a starter they can give Detroit like the Dodgers do, right? That's a great question in the sense of, obviously the Dodgers have some guys who are under team control, who are pitching well, who is, number 3 starter minimum that they could include in a deal.
They're great at developing pitching. I mean, they would probably want to keep a Kyle Harrison, right? He'd be a part of their big 3. with Skubal and with the Miz. But really, I think if you're the Brewers, you're not looking at the Robleskis, the Sheehan types. You're really kind of dipping into their farm.
And you've made this point before, and it bears repeating here on DMAC and Reiter. And then we'll keep doing this stuff. We have a lot of questions, and we want to get to them on the other side of this. But the Dodgers can give away someone who can be that level of a pitcher and be fine. The Brewers have to be much more cautious in getting a rental and giving away a major league level arm because they don't have the same replenishment opportunities.
Absolutely, too. And I think when you look at guys we mentioned, like the Kyle Harrison types, they'd probably prefer to keep them. But a lot of the Brewers' really good prospects are position players, too. So if you're the Tigers and you're looking for an arm, the Dodgers kind of make more sense, especially if they like any of the ones that have already had an extended run at the big league levels. Like if they like Sheen, if they like Justin Robleski, or is it more the River Ryan types, guys that have some upside there? I think as much as I love River Ryan, the dude's going to be 28 pretty soon. That's older for the prospect side. So that's kind of a name that makes sense as far as team control, but still you have that upside there.
Absolutely great stuff from my partner. Love doing this show. Thank you for listening wherever you are. Doug and I appreciate you. We are so glad you found the new 97.1 The Fan, whether it's on the FM or if it's on the stream over on YouTube at The Fan LA. And your comments, your thoughts, the mailbag that you contribute to is something that we love doing, and we're going to keep it rocking. There's great questions. You can add those, by the way, at The Fan LA, because we're keeping it going next here on DMAC and Reiter. All right, what up? Welcome back into the show. It has flown by. It's DMAC and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, visit calldowntown.com. That is calldowntown.com, or you can text injury help to 40222. Great work today, as always, by Sammy. Great work, as always, by Bursch. And Doug and I, we appreciate you so much for listening, for hanging out. If you found the show, however you found it, thank you, and we hope you'll keep chilling with us here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. You want some more? You want some more of these questions?
Yeah, let's hit that.
We're doing a little mailbag. Okay, there was another one from Robert Wallace that I wanted to hit. There's a bunch in here. Oh, my question. How do you both handle the negativity of social media posts, chats? Honestly, I don't think I would even look at them if I was in your position as show host. I'm 48, so I'm a little. I don't care, and I know that there are people. I know radio hosts who are obsessed with social media and what people say, and like spend all their time on their phone. And I was right, I was wrong, I did. I just don't care. I want feedback. Criticism's fine, right? But like the social media hordes, I also don't care about the praise, right? Which I don't get a lot of. It doesn't matter to me, man. Maybe I'm just so used to it covering LeBron. I just don't care.
Yeah, just doing this gig and some of the LeBron ones, it's kind of wild. Like when you drop some LeBron stuff, you'll get LeBron comments in the hundreds and hundreds, and the LeBron stands are crazy. They're absolutely culty.
I mean, look, I'm not hiding from this, and I enjoyed it, and I think the guys enjoyed it. But we did some edgy, fun, arguing radio on me with the guys yesterday on the morning show with D-Fish and Cody, and they were cool. But there were people in the comments I'm sure were mad. I don't. I mean, wherever you're listening and commenting, thank you. I appreciate it. But to answer your question, Robert, just for me, Doug, I'm just. If you're letting social media sort of shots affect you, you're in the wrong business in this business.
Yeah, my whole thing is, hey, I don't care if it's negative or positive necessarily. I just care that you have a comment, right? That's the thing. Give me the engagement, because I just want to hear what people have to say. There was one that used to piss me off back in the day, though. I will say. It's literally the one thing.
Keep it real, dude.
Number one. There's one thing that pissed me off back in the day.
Number one.
I would, number one. But it was when... If I'm talking football or basketball or anything else,
I know this.
And you know what I'm talking about? They'd be like, "Stick to baseball, DMAC."
Yeah, dude, I would.
And I'm like, dude, you guys don't know my life.
Yeah,
I came up as a football guy at first. Then I was a basketball, and then I started doing baseball. So I'm like, and there's been so many times where I've responded
you can't respond, dude.
And I'd be 900 words in. I'm like, don't do that, you loser, and you delete it.
One of the things, Robert, that I do enjoy about the chat though, because there have been not anymore, but I've spent a lot of my career covering LeBron James. And I would write, because when I was writing especially, I would write pretty nuanced stuff, but there would be one headline on there, and there'd be people in the chat that would go, "You're the worst LeBron ass kisser ever!" And then the very next comment would be, "Why do you hate him?" And I love that. Where it'd just be like, you guys are reading the same story, and you're having exactly that's a you thing, not a me thing.
Yeah, exactly. A little projecting. I used to get a lot of people say the Dodgers are paying DMAC to da-da-da-da-da-da. But look, the thing is, I feel like there's an art to it. I think certain people, guys like us, can put some gasoline on the fire on certain topics to make people go crazy. And I just love when people have bold opinions one way or the other. I just love
Me too, dude.
When people are that impassioned,
have an opinion,
don't suck. Yep.
Dude, I'm so down with that. DMAC and Reiter here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports.
Stick to baseball.
Rocking a little
PTSD, sorry.
Little mailbag. I don't. You don't have to stick to anything. Free range, dog. Alistair Malakhalif says Tarek Skubal goes to Brewers Rays and Tarek Skubal goes to Brewers or Rays and end up in World Series. How would that affect the MLB and union negotiations? I think there's no way there is a salary cap and lockout is more likely.
Interesting take.
You and I were talking
today,
we
were talking
the
a
opposite
about that.
of this. My contention is if Skubal goes to the Dodgers, it increases the lockout and sort of the angst for a long time. Opposite thing, goes to small market and it works. Is there an impact?
I think that's definitely a talking point, right? I think that if Tarek Skubal ultimately does end up with the Dodgers, we'll have to see what the haul is, how many top prospects the Dodgers ended up trading. But my first response to that, if he does go to the Dodgers, is going to be, hey, guess what? The Brewers have a top farm system. Did they offer their top prospect? The same with the Rays. Really good farm system because other teams have prospects. Other teams have the ability to trade those guys. As far as how it relates to the CBA, though.
To his point, though, like, maybe it does. I don't want to miss baseball, dude, next year. I think that's very possible.
I think that even if the Dodgers win or the Brewers win or a small market team or a big market team wins, there's going to be a big fight this offseason period. Like, I truly believe that. That's what I've heard. That, I mean, the S word is a word that players don't like. Of course, I'm talking about salary cap. And I think salary cap. Sorry.
No, my bad.
See, that's
I got to.
But if you are the Dodgers and you are.
I know it's not the poop word because I can't say that. What is he going?
It's the S word, salary cap. It's one word. And look at the dictionary. But no, here's the thing. If the Dodgers do win the World Series after getting Tarek Skubal, and then the small market teams and the owners of those teams, they want to have some type of balance of power shift. It's going to be really interesting. But there's so much at stake from a television contract standpoint and how healthy the game is, too. Last year, so many people were tuned in. 51 million people watched Game 7 that the Dodgers are good for the game. But I do think that the Tarek Skubal chip and all this is going to be interesting because not only is he a great player, he's going to be the biggest free agent this offseason, too, as far as pitchers go.
DMAC and Reiter, new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. I'm Bill Reiter. He is Doug McCain. DMAC. No Tan Lines, Rob, that's his name, says, does any bit of Reiter, that's me, regret anything he said about LeBron after all the pushback from some people at the station? No. In fact, I don't regret any of the things that I said that I think were accurate. I wouldn't say them if I didn't. That were much more edgy than... Look, I said this yesterday with the guys, and I've said this, LeBron being a mercenary and not loving L.A. in the way that I thought that he did, I just don't understand how that's controversial. And obviously friends of mine have sort of watched the, all the sort of drama and several of their friends, so whatever. But they've just been like, wow, man, you said much crazier stuff than that. I'm like, I don't know, man. I know this is the one. No, and also, here's the other reason I don't regret it. We don't do sports talk radio to not have an opinion, not say anything. And so, I'm told, Cody and Derek, they're great, and they do a great show, and they want to, play a clip of me and make fun of that take. That's totally fine. That's totally cool. I'm here for it. I respect it. I understand the rules of the game. This would be like Derek Fisher being mad that somebody blocked a shot or knocked him to the ground, or Cody being mad that somebody tried to strike him out and happened to succeed on one outing. I'm not, so no, I guess totally down. I'm totally down with it all.
Yeah, the thing, too, is you don't say things for clicks or headlines or to get clipped up. I mean, I think that the art of this all is that's something that comes from within. That's how you really feel, right? And so why would you regret something you actually believe? And
that's one thing that I like about work. Some people do just say stuff. You brought up a guy in the air the other day, and I was like, don't bring him out in the air. And I shouldn't have. But that's a guy, I don't know if he... But I mean what I say.
Yeah.
I know you think I'm crazy sometimes. I think you're great. But we mean the stuff we say.
I agree. I'm tempted.
I really do.
I do. I'm definitely going to do some homework tonight about some of those Ohtani segments we did early on.
You've been saying that
things
for a
you
month,
said.
man. I'm looking forward to you finding the thing that doesn't exist.
Grail.
Yeah. Okay. That's Fountain of Youth. You're gonna come in here and be 19 again. Hero of the day, by the way, DMAC and Reiter. Hero of the day is in fact dominating fashion. Eric Lauer.
Really?
Give him his flowers.
Give him Lauer his flowers. That's really impressive. I mean, who were the
55%?
Did Kike make the last
cut? Nope. Luca, Orioles and Orioles.
Oh, I was hoping for that one.
We didn't combine it, though.
Oh, okay.
What was that? It was so good. Tell me again.
It was just Ori Royals.
Yeah. It wasn't so good, but I love the effort so much.
Royals.
One last comment we'll get to. Mike Donowski, 1463. I have faith in Robo to make a postseason start. It'll be interesting when we get there. Do you?
I think
that's a no.
Realistically, the innings have really piled up on Robo.
That's a no.
He has just steamrolled past his career high. I still think he's going to have a role, though. I think Robo is going to have a role for this team. He's going to be out of the bullpen, though. To make a start, though, I wouldn't feel immensely confident about that. I just wouldn't.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I just withhold. I was going to take a shot at you just for no reason. I was literally just going to just take it for no reason. An unfair one. I didn't do it.
Just do it.
Friendship. No, I didn't do it.
No. I hate when you do that.
Why?
Because then you make it seem like there's something bad that you could have said.
But it had no connection to anything you just did.
Okay, just do it.
Nope.
All right.
Got it.
Really? Because
yeah, this is obnoxious. I'm sorry. It's a new 97 on the Fan, the voice of LA Sports.
when people do that to me, I give them silent treatment for a long time.
You've never been silent in your life. 855-97 LA Fan. 855-97 LA Fan. What are the odds that there is a Skubal trade before we go off the air tomorrow?
Oof.
50-50?
Our boy Jeff Passa, I'm going to say 54%.
50. I like the specificity. Specificity? Nope.
Those baseball
Still don't know how
gods,
you say the
those
word,
trade gods. Tomorrow, I want to see that
209.
during our show.
209.
You going 209?
That's what I want. I want 209
So
breaking
electric.
news.
Inject that into my veins.
You can't see Bursch the same way that I can, but there are like times like where Bursch is laughing or he has but there are times where he just, I think his head's going to explode. It's often where you're about to like pretend swear, but there's some, like you're like, I think that this is funny or whatever. I don't know how to do it, but that will be like, I want to see his head, like I want to see the look on his face where he first sees it and freezes for a quarter of a second. He is DMAC. I am Reiter. Thank you for listening. Remember, James Coe Show. It's such a great program. Great work from Sammy. Great work from Bursch. Thank you for hanging out. Hang out with James Coe for the next 4 hours. We'll see you tomorrow right here on DMAC and Reiter.